amazing. It's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters.
It's motorsport, but not as you know it. Test yourself and your everyday road car. Safe, affordable, but most of all, fun. And all you need is your daily driver. Experience the thrill of a sprint day. Race against the clock at a hill climb. Or test your reflexes with an auto test. It takes just 3 simple steps to get started. Get on the start line. Search Motorsport Australia Daily Driver today.
Fishies in a row. They're here to make a point and to do Eddie proud. They fan out in the background as they come down to turn 1 for the first time. It all looks pretty good, 2 by 2. We'll stop the camera here. Oh, Eddie would be proud, mate. That was awesome run around turn 1. But, oi! Contact with the fishies!
He's made it through. It doesn't look like Angus has made it, but Thomas Freeman's made it through, and Angus is going to suffer the crowd coming through there to be able to turn his car around.
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride, whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride.
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
And they are off. It was a good start from Dylan De Bono. I think Phil Vella got a great start there in the background as well. You can see already cars going 5, 6 wide as they're trying to find any semblance of space. They come into T1. So far we've got 2, 3 wide as they snake down. There's Michael Culture that's got around Dylan De Bono. A couple of cars going wide there. Was that a bit of contact in the back? Scott Pocock caught up in that, I think, there, buddy. But it's Michael Cullaghar's got past, so Dylan...
light is coming out and we're about to get going, and we have a green light and a very slow start for the 86s, but they are moving out there on the grid. It would be very interesting to see exactly which driver can capitalise on this first lap. Just go through the grid. Look like Jamie Christensen had a really awesome start to get ahead of Dylan De Bono, and Doug Gowage also jumped his teammate as well, so unfortunately Dylan stalled the car a little bit more than what he preferred. But
Weekend in, weekend out, Motorsport Australia officials are making waves. From waving flags, waving cars through pit lane, or responding to a wave for help. Wave hello to new lifelong friends. Who knows, you might just make waves around the world. Ride the first wave. Search Motorsport Australia officials today.
Still great classes of car, and if you are able to, if you're coming up the ranks on iRacing through the licenses, it's a fantastic sort of laneway into prototype driving, going from that GT3 up through the prototype classes. As the safety car pulls in, we get ready to go green as we come up towards the line. Edwards, Hasler, who's going to get the jump down to turn 1, or will any of the fishies, any of the piranhas in behind them, assault them down towards
green and they're off.
First lap? Let's go here.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons.
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. It's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanek and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up to the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see if we get a good run. Dodds just absolutely think about it. It's a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sim Racing World TV. Welcome back to another week of Season 2 for round number 6 here for Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Series here from Winton, out of myself and Sinker's home state of Victoria. Of course, it's basically a Victorian and New South Wales track. It's right on the border pretty much, but one of my favourite circuits. Great to be here for this one. I'm the commentator here tonight. Hamish Munro, joined alongside once again by Steve Sinkovic. Sinker, a track that is a mainstay of supercars nowadays, and even in the past as well. A lot of club racing that happens here, but a phenomenal circuit nonetheless. I'm super excited for this one. Winton's one of my favourites.
Look, mate, it's one of the most active circuits out there, to be honest. I went down there, I was probably down there just before Christmas, going through the area, and I popped down to the driveway, took some photos, and I was lucky enough to talk to some of the guys that were working around the tracks, extending the car park and fixing stuff up and stuff like that. And there's actually a street as you enter the track, and it goes to the right hand side, and it's named after a gentleman whose name I can't remember, but he is one of the original grounds people that worked on the track for like 80 years or something like that. He's still walking. 80 is an exaggeration, obviously, but he's still walking around, still driving the track. They're still cleaning the grass and trimming and stuff like that. Very big community. And they still have Friday night driving nights, so I was just checking the calendar up, and the calendar is full. Mate, they've got things going on there all the time.
Well, I suppose that's the beauty of having a track in the middle of nowhere. And it's pretty much, it's only close to its next major town is Albury, which I think is even like half an hour to an hour away from the track still. But obviously it's gone through a lot of changes in its time. This is obviously the most modern layout of Winton. Previously, back in the old days, well, not old days, but back in the days of 90s and 80s club racing, of course, it would only use the kind of the left-hand portion of the track map if you're looking at it on screen. Basically, the last, or the main straight that is now going into turn 1, the main straight, majority of that, the back straight, and also the last two corners, never used to exist previously to probably, I think, the early 2000s or something like that. That was when those were added. We used to use the club circuit, which is available in iRacing. That's what the track used to be. Obviously, we go through the old main straight whenever we race here. It's a real technical little track. It's going to take a lot of tenacity for these drivers to try and get moves done. They're going to have to moves are not easy. It's going to come down to strategy. I've seen a lot of races around here, sim or also real life as well, where the strategy's been absolutely imperative for drivers to try and get those moves done. The undercut is massive at this sort of level. You get an undercut done, get out in clear air, and be able to push on while other drivers are battling it out, being stuck in the traffic. You're going to get big gains by the end of the race.
100%, and we actually did some drag racing here as well, just a little mucking around. So there's a point that goes that back straight, as you can see at the moment, it's to the right hand side, the bit that looks like the pistol tip, before it comes back to a double right hander. That actually goes all the way through to the far left and starts at the very far left of the track as well, and it goes all the way through, so you can actually drag all the way down. So we hit one night when we actually did dragging from there. It was pretty cool fun.
I hope we see whoever wins tonight goes and uses the actual burnout pad on this circuit. You can access it down the back of turn 5 as they come around the long double left. You can't just keep going instead of heading to the right, and there's the entry to the burnout pad. So hopefully we see that happen here tonight.
There is 2 hours worth of burnouts there done by SRW. It's in our playlist somewhere. And we had a night with just burnouts that we did on that part of the track. When we go to Southern Nats next year, if we go, we are going to have a big burnout competition and have that all set up so people can actually see it. So that's the plan forward for those guys. But yeah, a lot of fun to have out there. I had the big burnout. I think Jared Vassell, I think, came out. Someone else. One of the big V8 drivers was out there doing some massive burnouts with us.
Of course, now that he's after round 5, a couple of class changes for certain drivers, think, as well as a couple of team changes in the field as well that are now being made official. The team changes to start with is Billy Mole and Sean Vandermill, and are now the newest members of Nova Simsport. So they will now be out there with Matty Parker as his teammates, helping support him in this race. Some of the class changes that have happened. Stephen Martin, amateur champion the last season who got put up into Pro-Am, has been dropped back to amateur now halfway through the season.
There you go. Standards can drop if you don't get that time in real life to practice all the time. It's one of those things you can't get up there. I actually had a nice conversation today with Mr. Crosby. I gave him a bit of a tinkle to see how things are going. How's everything going with the vets plan? And Kennedy is up there biting away, and the boys are just focusing on that at the moment. He'll be back next season. And it's good to have a chin with him.
Stephen ended up winning that championship. He won it as of, Saturday night was the broadcast, but he won it as of last Thursday. He'll now move back up in a split one. So will Darren. It was actually double podium for them. Stephen was P1, Matty Parker was P2, and then Darren was P3 in that top 3. But the classifications have now changed a little bit in vets. I believe now it's like the top 10 actually goes up almost the top 3. So quite a few more drivers are going to be moving in between splits for this upcoming season, for their 20th season, in fact. For next season of iRacing. But we're going to get into qualifying now. Cars already out on track. Dylan Gray, who we saw had a strong run last night in our Super Monday race for Suzuka, will be hoping to back that up here tonight. Although Jamie Davis, Billy Mole and others will be trying to put a challenge into him to try and pip him for the top spot here tonight.
Yeah, we did lose one of the drivers. Stephanie Piccoli has pulled her registration from the VAs on a Tuesday night to focus on the 86s, because she's having a really good run in the 86s. She actually had a podium top step a few weeks ago, and she's doing really well in the AMs. She's getting some consistent battles, so she's taking it the Tuesday night to go out there and practice and get ready for it. So we are missing there. Di Feldman is still here, so we still have a lady on the track, which is really good. If there's any ladies out there that are wanting to race, Laura, we haven't seen a hello from you just yet to celebrate the Team SRW. Maybe we should get Laura a ring, get her out there with her partner. That would be interesting.
We'd have to ask Brad about that one. That would, as a couple, I'm sure that's a 50-50 decision that needs to get made. But who knows? But a lot of the drivers coming around now, they're going to start their quali laps just shortly here. Oh, speaking of Brad, he's just run it way wide at the entry to the back straight. Such a tough track. This one is. It's a mainstay in Supercars racing. Matty Parker as he starts his first lap here. It's technical, but it is a classic style of track. It's a really...
Hold the news. Hang on. Bigger's back on track.
He is back on track.
Oh, it's Mr. Viger back. I'll call him Viger now because he's back. Yeah, mate, sorry for interrupting you. Keep going. I just saw something. I thought we haven't seen him for a few weeks. I thought, welcome back. Not too loud. Can't hear you boys.
Just that. We fixed that just now. So thank you for letting us know, Jamie.
Excellent.
But yeah, so Winton, obviously, it's a real technical little sort of a circuit, a real rhythmic circuit. We speak about that a lot, 100%. Where a track, you lose your rhythm, you lose your head around there. So we see Dye just running a little bit wide, probably trying to let Matty pass, but it's actually caught him out there through the mid part.
It'd be quite dusty and greasy as well.
It can, yeah. And
especially when it's been around a tree.
Exactly, and when this track gets hot as well, it can get real slippery. You're already fighting for grip, especially through the midsection out of the Gumtree. It is one of those tracks that if there's a heap of off tracks and cars bring a heap of dirt on it, it's going to make it even harder to be able to cut laps and to be able to stay consistent around here. Dylan Gray's already gone to the top of the timing tower, setting the pace very, very early with a 1:19.28. Troy Dooley's gone P2 with a 19.49. Weston with a 19.6. Clutterbuck with a 19.9. Vandermill leads the amateurs with a 1:20.03, and all the times are coming in now as they cross the line to start their next lap.
Looking good, man. Times are looking very good, very close. Have a look at that. Top 6 at the moment, all in the 19s. There's 5 tenths between. Looking really nice. Cars looking great, sounding sensational. Hello to all the lads out there. Jamie Davis, Harry Dodds, Joseph Fuentes, and Ice Pack Gaming. I think that's Peter Pav.
Possibly it might be the Pavlov, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
On that one. I'll find someone to sit with here for a lap as, well, qualifying is kind of the perfect time for it. Everyone's cutting some laps. They're trying to do their best efforts to cut laps, obviously, and trying to get the most out of the car. Dylan Gray, I mean, he is obviously a highly contested driver at the moment. He's incredibly quick in these cars. But leading the championship is still Jamie Davis, who has got a rear of grid penalty here tonight for not getting back to the line last week after running out of fuel. So that means he's going to have a difficult night ahead of him, Siggy. He's going to have to go from the back of the field, probably try and get it up to P10 by the end of the first race so he has pole position for the second. Otherwise, it could be a real struggle for him out there tonight and could hurt his championship running by not being able to maximise on those points.
Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting. It's strategy is always better to stay clean in this series because there's so many cars out there. But yeah, look, worst case scenario, you get it to the top 10. Car 216.92 rear of grid start. They have to complete cooldown.
That's Peter Pavlovich. That's Peter Pavlovich.
Yeah. So the two of them will be at the back, raring to go. But you know, it's going to make for interesting racing. Passing's not impossible here. You just got to be really careful. That the back end, the front chicane. There's a few spots that we've seen in the past, some amazing passing. Like where are we on the track at the moment? We're coming
up through the
around the back left-hander.
This is into the middle sector now. So that was
into
out
the middle
past
sector
the
now.
out
Yep.
pad.
Yep.
I mean, as I said, it's a track you have to work to get the position. It's a lot easier to defend around here than it is to attack. You can cover your lines a lot easier around this circuit, especially through the midsection. Passing through the midsection is almost impossible. Your main overtaking opportunity is obviously into turn 3 if you can get it lined up through the first two corners through the chicane, or as you said, down towards the double right at the final couple of corners as well. But as we said, making your way up through the field is going to be done through those pit stops, going to be done through getting your strategy absolutely perfected, and by getting undercuts or just by being able to run through the pits as quickly as possible without copping a drive-through penalty, obviously, because that is something that can catch a lot of drivers out. One thing that I have seen it happen at this track, I've never seen it happen anywhere else, but I don't think it's just track specific. It was, I think it was Split One of Vets when they were around here last time. One of the cars actually managed to get a hole in their fuel tank and ran out of fuel coming into the pits. Like I think they were on like lap 3 and they were down to 3 laps of fuel left because they had a hole in their fuel tank. So it's absolutely wild what can happen in the sim. Laura Anderson is in the chat. Good evening, lads. I am here. I just turned the TV on when you asked where I was. Lol. Good luck to our SRW boys. Awesome foursome. Good luck to Jamie, Brad, Josh, and Mitch.
Mitch isn't here tonight.
No, Mitch isn't here. He's still on his round ban, isn't he?
No. He's able to drive tonight, but he had a problem with his wheel. We sent a new wheel out to him.
Okay.
So he should get his new wheel tomorrow because Canberra had a public holiday yesterday.
Yeah.
So they had Reconciliation Day. We don't have a public holiday for Reconciliation Day anywhere else in the country, only in Canberra. But yeah, good on. So his new wheel didn't rock up until tomorrow instead of today, as it's supposed to. So much for paying for next day service.
It's going to really help him when there's a public holiday the day before, isn't there? But,
yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Looking like the boys are splitting themselves nicely. Pro-Ams are sitting in the top part of the table, and the AMs are sitting in the bottom part of the table, except for Craig Healy.
Yeah, he's the only one out of sync at the moment.
Obviously, Peter Pav and Jamie are rear and gridding, so they can't be on the qualifying session. They're just going to go straight out.
Josh King also hasn't set a time yet either.
He's taking it easy.
Brad Anderson appears to be really struggling around this track. He's not been able to even set a time just yet over his 3 laps that he's done. Maybe trying to get out of people's way, but I think I'd just say to Brad is, well, you're on a lap. It's you don't have to get out of someone's way. If they want to, if they're coming up on you and you're doing a qualifying lap, well, that's tough kitties to them. You have every right to finish that lap. You don't have to pull out of it.
No, but he might be on a blue flag. He might be on a blue flag. So depending on if it's on his first one, if he hasn't done a full lap and it hasn't registered a lap, it still thinks he's on his first lap, so he'll keep getting blue flags until he sets a clean lap. With me?
Yeah, well, that's going to be hard around here because eventually you just start going backwards and then...
Following Cowie's not a bad thing. That's
That's
not a
true.
bad thing at all. Just stay clean behind Cowie and get the draft where you can, and you'll be sweet coming through. Now this track's got a few interesting points. We've seen cars flip here. So as you come out of the down the main straight and through the chicane, on the left-hand side there's the barrier wall. So as you're coming along here, we've seen cars come through here. We're on with Cowie right now, ladies and gents. It is Holden. So coming through left here, coming back right. This wall on the left-hand side,
Yeah,
you go out too
those
wide.
sausage curves can really shoot you
those
out.
sausage curves can actually flip you. So what
Yeah.
it does, the second one on the outside pushes you up onto the fence, bounces you on the fence, and then flips you over. And we've seen it happen, I think, 3 times in the last year or two. So some awesome fun. We saw it in the GT3s and in the Formula 3s. I'm not sure if we did it in the V8s though.
Well, it's quite spectacular when it does happen, not from the driver's seat, obviously. That can be quite difficult. On board here with Sean Vandermillen as he tries to start another lap here in qualifying. I want to get hard on the brakes right before that driveway on the right-hand side. Try and get it down to about 2nd or 3rd gear through the chicane. Runs it way wide, manages to keep it in line though. And then another 3rd gear corner here for the right-hander, trying to hug that inside curb and then trying to push the car out as wide as possible to try and line up the next right-hander. This double left sinker is so difficult to get right, but once you know how it's done, you do it the exact same every single lap, but it's learning how it's done that is the most difficult part. Knowing when to go for the downshift, knowing when to get back on the throttle. It is an absolute wrestle, it's an absolute wiggle through there, and it's one of the toughest points of this track is that long double left into the fast-paced little dance you do up towards the hard braking zone before the gum tree.
Yeah, look, it's that whole section has just gone through there. It's not just about learning the racing line. You've got to learn to be fast off the racing line there as well, because that's a good spot to get your nose in and get a bit too wide, and try to make a position on there as well. Especially as you're coming back to the left and then you're just turning right to the tree. That little section, that little short sprint section is a good section to come out of the corner and try to overlap someone through there. So I'm really keen to see where the boys pick to make their passes tonight. And with the amount of traffic that's going to be out there, we've got 24 cars. So it should be very, very interesting.
Sean unable to better his time that last time, but it wasn't far off it though. But he does need to try and find a 19 if he wants to go better than Stephen Martin, who's currently P10 on the road and P1 for the amateurs, and he pulls it off the track. Cowie's looking to get back into the top 10 now as Stephen Martin has picked him for that position. Pretty much everyone above Stephen is a Pro-Am here tonight. Only the 2 outliers are Cowie and Healy, other than the drivers who are yet to set a qualifying time at the back of the field. 2 of those having rear grids in Peter Pavlovic and Jamie Davis as well. Cowie comes through the long left-hander that I mentioned. It is a real balancing act through some of those fast-paced little sharp corners like that around here, Sinker, and any wrong movement, either which way can end in disaster, not only for you, but the cars around you. You can easily get a compression lock through there. You can easily run it wide, end up in the sand and into the wall. And there is so much that can go wrong, and just trying to have that balance correct and have it absolutely perfected, it is a real art to have, especially in a supercar, which is already feels like an uncontrollable beast when you first get in it.
100%. I'm trying to see where we're missing a Tasmanian Devil.
Mr. Taylor, he might be on holiday. No, he's out there. He's P10.
Where is he? Oh, there he is.
He's
there
in
he
the
is.
pits.
Sorry.
He's in the pits.
Okay, yep, there he is. The Tasmanian Devil's still there. Good to see. Well, he's got himself in a good position already tonight, isn't he? Sitting at the top of the grid for the AMs. He's looking for another event in the news tonight, I think. That's what he's looking for.
Well, Cowie must be listening to us.
Have you got the ladder there, mate, at all?
Yeah, it's up on
Do you want me
screen.
to drag it up?
I've got the timing tower up on screen.
No, the actual ladder, the points.
Oh, no, I don't. I do not have that, sorry. If you want to bring that up on your screen, then that'll be good, because then we can go to the double view.
And then we can have a look at it in
Yeah.
the corner.
Just change your
People
window
can
to
see
whatever screen your iRacing's on, and then...
I shall do, mate. I shall
Yeah.
do. So the boys we are at the round 5, which is the middle of the season, which is the perfect time to have a quick look at it and see where everyone's sitting.
So we're transitioning now to the second half. Obviously, this is round 6, 4 rounds to go. Next week being an enduro round out at Watkins Glen, the first of our US triple header to end out this season. We come to home soil prior to that enduro race. It's a couple of tough rounds to come, Sink, obviously. Winton tonight, Watkins next week for enduro action. That could be a tough track, could be a chaotic race for that one. Road Atlanta for the second last race of the season, and then Belle Isle. So we've got a hell of a final 4 rounds. Very tough circuits. I think Road Atlanta is probably the easiest of them, at least to get passes made. But all 4 are going to lead to some great racing. 3 of the 4, actually, you know what? I'd argue all 4, because Road Atlanta's got its own chaotic points. All 4 of them could lead to chaos and could lead to some absolutely landscaping changing moments across these final couple of rounds. So it's not all over yet. Jamie might be leading the championship. Anything can happen, though, across these final 4 rounds that could hinder him or hurt him as well.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Can you see that, mate? There's the ladder itself. So people out there can have a look at it. So Jamie Davis is sitting on 740 points and only 36 points behind Chris Burrage, which I am not seeing out there tonight, which is a shame. So it's going to give Jamie a bit of a buffer when he needs it. John Gallen, who's a fan favourite out there. The Gallen cheer squad isn't quite in full motion yet tonight. I can see Cochrane out there, and someone else did mention him before. So the Gallen cheer squad is still getting ready. And then we've got Dylan Gray, Peter Pav, Travis Daly, Cowan, Scotty West, and Billy Mole.
So we'll quickly come back to the points. We'll get through our starting grid and maybe come back to it between the races just to kind of see what drivers may need to do leading into the second race as well. Starting grid for race number 1 here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is a sprint round format, so we start off with a 20-minute race and then head into a 40-minute affair for the end of the round. I don't know why some of me fonts are not working properly here on SDK. It's having a bit of a hiss fit, but it's all good. Dylan Gray will line up on pole position alongside Matty Parker in P2 for Nova Sim Sports. They'll start ahead of Troy Dooley and Andrew Cowan on the second row of the grid, making a performance sim racing second row lockout here tonight. Their former teammate Travis Dady will line up in behind them, with Nova Sim Sports new boy Billy Mole out of P6. John Gallen and Scott Weston will then line up in P7 and P8, with Rick Weiger and Daniel Clutterbuck making up the top 10 for an all-pro-am top 10 here tonight. In behind them will be Brett Taylor and Stephen Martin, P11 and P12 on the road, P1 and P2 for the amateurs here in qualifying. We then move down to Sean Vandermillen and Blake Fitzpatrick, ahead of Craig Healy and Marty Hughes to make up the top 16 cars on the road. Andrew Rushworth and Keegan Caldwell will then start P17 and 18, with Brad Hayes and Di Feldman in P19 and 20. Brad Anderson and Jamie Davis, of course, starting from... Brad Anderson was able to set a time in qualifying. Jamie Davis and Peter Pavlik getting rear-of-grid penalties for unable to get back to the grid after the end of last week's race at Suzuka. Greg Barber, Tyson McAvoy, our race controllers here tonight. Josh King unable to get a time in qualifying.
Full grid, as we can see. I've got my cameras poised on Mr. Taylor, the lead of the AMs. You've got the front of the grid. We're going to have an epic fight here. This first chicane and first right-hander is going to be, I think, all the way to the apple tree, to the big oak tree or gum tree, whatever you want to call it today. It's going to be crazy. What's the YouTube song? It's the what tree is it?
Well, just to give up as well, so you need to make sure you actually go back to your iRacing on your shared screen, because you still have the points up instead of what you're looking at the moment.
Well, I thought I swapped it. I didn't swap.
Apparently not. All we are waiting for is Matty Parker to jump on the grid here tonight. We've got 30 seconds, as well as Andrew Rushworth as well. No, it's still on there.
It shouldn't be.
You may just change windows to that application instead of doing the whole screen. That's fine. Just change it over to iRacing. But cars are all set on the grid. Matty Parker, Dylan Gray. It'll be a drag race down towards turn number 1 for them here tonight in race number 1 of round number 6. Lights are going to go up. We're going to go racing at Winton in a cold, gloomy dark day, I should say. Who's going to get the jump down to 1? It was a great start from both the front runners. Bit of a box start, though, from Cowie as the back of the field starts to spread all the way out down towards turn number 1 for the very first time. Parker versus Gray. There's been contact with him, but Parker survived through turn 1. And there's already been a cast mud round. That's Jamie Davis there at the back of the field as they struggle to find their wits about them through the first sector now. Parker's lost it through 3. Gray takes the lead, and he's now going to drop down to the back of the field.
That is spectacular straight away, but these boys are going right through 2x2 and making it as clean as possible. They've made a liar out of me. I thought they were going to lose it a bit.
As Gray starts to pull away now. Dooley up to P2 on the road. Daly up into P3. Moles all over the back of him as Gallen's now trying to hold off Cowan past the gum tree. They come, just trying to find their wits about them. Parker has dropped massively off the back of the rest of the field. Davis is being left out to dry down at the gum tree at the moment as they try and trickle their way through to the final sector of this lap. Gallen runs a little bit wide, does well there to hold it up through the third to last corner, and they come around to try and end lap number 1 as cleanly as possible. Laura Anderson asking how many safety cars tonight. Oh, there's already been contact in the background with Rushworth and Davis, and it is already going off here at Winton Sinker. I think after seeing how feisty they are, I reckon we might get one in each race here tonight, so a total of 2.
They're already talking to each other at the back there. Is my other cam working now, mate?
It is now.
Good. I can reboot it all together. Here we go. Someone's calling in something at the back there, but we'll see what happens and who it is. The boys are making it fair. Brett Taylor has got himself in a really good position in commanding that. Oh, actually, he's not. He's dropped a few places I can see now. What's happening? I missed everything.
It's left you absolutely bamboozled as what could happen. Gray's got all sorts of war wounds down the driver's side of his car. Dooley's having a little bit of a blink in the background. Mole, though, trying to keep all the pressure on Travis Daly at the moment, who's on the back. Daly's even having some blinking issues too, so both the rest of the podium here blinking in and out. Hopefully Mole can survive this one. Gallen's trying to keep the pressure on. He's got his fan club out there. Hopefully it pays him dividends here tonight as the field starts to spread out a little bit. As we mentioned, though, battles are not always going to be the major player at this circuit. It's going to come down to strategy. There's not going to be much strategy in race number 1 as we shouldn't get a pit stop, but what it will be is drivers may just be trying to force themselves up the order, try and force themselves into the top 10, try and get a better start for race number 2 where their strategy will pay dividends.
Yeah, Matty Parker's already working his way up. He's got himself a few places. When we get back to the main grid, we'll have a look at the incident that we missed. Shane Patterson, Matty Parker letting the homies down. Nah, he's probably just having a bit of a spell. He's working his way up, which is pretty good. Taylor's down 2. Our biggest mover at the moment is Josh King, up 4 places from the back of the grid. Well done, Joshy. Here we go.
Race control talks.
All right, there's no further action with car something in 51, whatever it was.
Davis losing in the first corner.
Maybe Davis just lose the rear end on his own there.
Yeah, I think he made a swing of grass. This was Maddie down to turn 3. He tried to go for a move down the inside of Gray. Gray makes the rearrangement. Maybe a little bit of net code involved. Not 100% sure on that one.
Yeah.
Pulled off track. Did smart move. Pulled out of it. Parker is 199.
199. All right, so I can't see the call.
That was Pavlovic with Davis and also Rushworth as well, down out of the middle portion of the track.
And then Henderson got out of there real quick as well, nicely done. Rushworth, a lot of dirt on that car. Those tyres are going to take a little time to get straight. Oh, sideways through there. Oh, as we said, dusty tyres, mate. You've got to do at least half a lap to get them cleaned up and get them going.
Not even just dusty, they're also cold still as well. You know, drivers are trying to get the temps back into them.
What? John Gallen has got Rick Vigor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, mate, the grid behind him is huge. There's a few boys still getting the grips of the tyres and the dust and coming off left, right, and centre.
This is Weston and Martin through there. Oh, that's going to be it's going to be a tough one for race control.
Definitely got him then. He's readdressed it.
Yeah, that's going to
be
a tough one.
See, this is the old adage. You readdress, and there's too many places lost. He lost about 4 places there. He's going to be going for a pit stop, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think he's unfortunately traversing through the lane. Dylan Gray is starting to spread his wings just a little bit now over Troy Dooley out of P2. 2.6 seconds is the gap. Dooley's then got...
He did say it was his favourite track the other night.
He did, and he has raced here before, so he'll have the, we won't say home field advantage, but definitely the experience advantage. racing him in real life. Troy Dooley's got Travis Daly behind him, as well as Billy Mole. So this battle for P2 on the road going strong at this stage in time. You see Brad Anderson struggling in the background, still coming onto the back straight there. What'll be interesting now is we know that, Dylan Gray, he does well when he's up the front, but he has struggled making his way back through the field in past, especially at Suzuka last week.
Yeah.
Do we think him starting at a P10 could be a bit difficult for him, especially around here where you've got to force the move? It's not just going to open the door for you.
He's going to need to show some great patience tonight. If he forces the move, he's going to be going through the pit for a bit of a tidy up. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll tell you what, the Ams are putting up a great little fight there. Blake's Factory's got Sean Van der Meulen, Brett Taylor, Craig Healy, all on the back of him, and just making sure that they're staying close. They're not letting up at all, mate.
This top three, this is the battle for the top three in the Ams. Obviously, being led by Fitzpatrick to Van der Meulen and to Taylor. Caldwell's had a bit of an off track in the background. He's struggling coming out of the infield as we speak, so he's just trying to get to grips with this track car combination. Not one of the easiest ones to try and perform at, of course, but well, these AM leaders are doing pretty well here tonight. Van der Meulen, I think he could be the next one to really rise up the ranks. He's in a new team, he's in a quick team with the likes of Matty Parker, Billy Mole's involved too, but also other drivers like Todd Duggan and Paul Hayes. This bloke's got some fast operators with him who can help him gain some pace, as well as others who've joined him at this team now. Don't be surprised if we see him in the Pro-Ams very soon, and sooner rather than later up in the pros.
Andy Davis has got himself a drive-through for lap 1 in some.
Yeah, that would be with Andrew Rushworth down coming out of the infield section of this circuit. So, fortunately for Jamie, he's not only going to go from bad to worse, and maybe almost impossible for him now to come back from that and get into the top 10 to get a better qualifying spot for race number 2. So this is going to be a difficult run for him. Big points could be lost in these championship standings. He's lucky that Chris Burridge isn't here, but there are other contenders out there who are now going to gain points on him through this first race at least.
100%. It's going to be a dogfight to the end of the season. We always knew that. We had a chat about it the other night and said whatever happens, happens. We're just going to keep going. It's consistency that's going to win titles.
We're getting closer to the halfway point of this race, and everyone's kind of settled into their groove at the moment here. Sinker, I guess, this race now. If you're right about these guys, Sean's looking good for P1 starting in the next race. So this is right now. This is the battle for pole position as Davis comes through his drive-through penalty. Taylor now will likely be thinking about number 1, P2 on the road for the amateurs, but also P1 on the road for the next race.
You want to be there. You want to be the front grid so that you get that advantage of 10 places against your AM competitors behind you. Doesn't matter if you lose those spots, but the longer you can hold it up the front, the better chance you got of staying on the podium.
Well, it's going to be, say if someone like a Taylor or a Van der Meulen or a Fitzpatrick were to start pole position, they could then start to become a cork in the bottle, similar to Daniel Clutterbuck in the past out at Motegi, where you're starting to hold the other drivers up, but you're able to maintain position because they can't get past you, and all of a sudden it creates the domino effect of intense battles happening in the background, drivers trying to pick up any crumbs that they can that have been left all over the road. It could also lead to some more chaos as other drivers try and get desperate for those crumbs. They're trying to pick up any piece that they can, and that just leads to the blowing up in their face at the end of the day.
Mr. Martin has got himself a drive-through as well.
Oh, Van der Meulen's just run it wide though. Unfortunately for him, he's cracked under pressure to Brett Taylor, who now finds himself P10 on the road. Healy wants the position now from Van der Meulen up towards the double right. Has to back out of it at the last minute, and he'll be looking to try and get this done in laps future, I should say.
Here's Troy on my camera at the moment. One of the boys, Brad D. Can we have a look at Travis? Yes, mate, they are on the second screen as we speak. Once the fella gets him up there. A great little battle there across the middle of the pack. Well, not really the middle, but front end.
The front end. They're 3 seconds off the back of Dylan Gray at this stage in time.
92 readdress.
Yes,
behind 91.
That's to
teammates.
Jamie Davis to redress to Josh King.
So, to Davey.
What's,
he's not having a good night,
how has this happened to Jamie here? So they've come up in towards the mid part of the track. Oh, and he's just absolutely clipped him with some net code there.
It looked like netcode, yeah.
It was big netcode, but I guess Racetrack's probably looking at it like, well, the contact was going to happen anyway, even if the netcode wasn't involved. He hasn't lost too many spots, but yeah, it was. You could see from the trajectory anyway. I mean, it was an inter-team moment, Sinker, so I'd be worried about that more than the fact that he copped the penalty. Was your teammates are hitting each other on track.
It definitely wasn't an icon moment, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. And it's looking like the National News broke today that he may lose his seat prior to the Canadian Grand Prix, which means Jack Doohan will get a drive.
He's gonna get a I think he's gonna get a race ban by FA. Dangerous. But so either way, he was going to give away the seat for a week at least. I don't think he's going to lose it for the full time. He's got too much sponsorship.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you. Doohan's got some major sponsorship behind him as well. And it opens the door for their Premier driver to come in as a reserve and get some testing done in an F1 car as well. So
we'll see what happens. That's all next round is at
it's at Montreal.
Montreal, yeah. So great little track. So that should be a fun one as well. That's not this week. The week after.
Yeah.
And the week next week we'll have the Montreal for.
I was about to say that's our next Formula One Shadow round, which I believe at some point in the season we actually have 3 rounds in a row mid-season because there's a triple header in Europe for F1. So
yes, correct.
That'll be 3 weeks the drivers don't want to miss, so they don't lose out on some points. 12 seconds into the session. Brett Taylor started to break away from Sean Vandermeer. He has lost the back of Blake Fitzpatrick at the moment, but he might be all right with that. He's sitting P2 on the road for the Classic, but P1 for the next race, and this is where he could start coming into race number 2, which could be good for him. Hold off the field a little bit, try and maintain position, and hope the strategy plays off so you can get the benefit of it as well.
The Fitzpatrick and Taylor got a great little battle going between the two of them, and it's good to see. Very clean races, these boys. Very clean. I haven't seen any really bad driving in any of our series of late. We at one point we had a few drivers that were like doing a lot of big late dive bombing, but it's been really clean. I think the only time you really see it is in the 86s when we're having a super sprint round and people are a bit more desperate. But apart from that, really nice and clean. Biggest mover tonight so far, ahead of Pav, up 6 places. Matty Parker's doing well, getting back up there, mate. He was all the way down at 22nd at one point. So he's getting himself back up to the 13th place, so not a bad thing. He might, yes, make the top 10 for the reverse grid.
Well, I would say that, Matty's got his teammate Sean Vandermillen ahead of him. He may ask him to move out of his way. He's got Craig Healy, who has pace over ahead of him as well as Brett Taylor. So we could see Matty light up pole position for this next race. It's not set in stone for Brett, but he may defend that like a good public defender in the courts. But we'll see if he can actually hold together in this one. Tyson,
apparently we've got
in the supercar in the warm-up because I joined in.
Apparently we've got some comedy entertainment in the warm-up section of the.
We'll have to keep an eye on him.
The warm-up.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on him on the warm-up.
Let's count how many spins he does. Who wants to put some bets on how many spins he's going to do?
Maybe he's going to be the one to go to the burnout pad for us. Maybe that's what Tyson's job is for.
Maybe. Who knows? But this battle at the front there with Troy Dooley and Travis is still going hot. They've got 3/10 on there. Everywhere else is sort of gapped out a little bit. Jamie Davis is catching Steve Martin at the back there. Josh King and Andrew Rushworth have got 6/10. But the main fight is just there in the 2nd, 3rd and 4th place with Travis Daly and Billy Mole, who's now got on the back of those two boys. And Dylan Gray has got a commanding lead up there. He's got 4.5 seconds just about. And he's got the fastest lap of 1:19.651.
Well, I guess that's the beauty when you've got clear track ahead at Winton. Whether it's going to pay dividends in the second race as he tries to fight his way through, we'll have to wait and see. It's the mold breaker of this circuit is when you're back in the field trying to make your way through. We've seen Matty Parker be able to do it here tonight, whether Dylan Gray can do it as well. Obviously 40 minutes is a long time out there. You'll be guaranteed a stop in that race. It's whether you can use that stock to your advantage, maybe go for the undercut, get some clean track, get to push on and do your best laps possible, and then make it up as other cars are in amongst their battles out on circuit.
100%. Peter Pav is now crouching on the back of Keegan Caldwell. Keegan stayed out there. Remember, he said he's gonna give the V8s a clip and had enough. It's good to see he stuck it out, and he's still out there racing, and he's catching Di Feldman, and Peter Pav's catching him. 20 people watching at the moment through YouTube itself, so thank you all for supporting us. Please like and subscribe if you can, and also thank you to all our sponsors. While you can see them on the bottom of the screen rotating away, it's an absolute honour to do this for you guys, and without them we cannot get out here on track and do what we do for the drivers. So thank you wholeheartedly for them.
Of course, just to give them a quick shout out, obviously our title sponsors, Warren & Brown Tools and Shannon's Insurance. They're the ones that bring you the series as the title. The naming rights sponsors will say. Then obviously Motorsport Australia making the 86 as an official series as a part of their program. And then the other sponsors that help us get along the way as well, including NeuroPower, Shunt Scenery, Grim Industries, and DSL Rail Services. They really help us get going and get racing as well. And if you guys are interested in possibly helping SRW along the way and want to get involved via sponsorship, then you can contact Mr. Sinkovic, who I'll get you to name your email if that's what you want to do, Singer, or you want to put a link in the chat.
Send it to admin@simracingworld.com.au, and I'll reach out to you with my personal address.
What has happened to Brad Anderson? He is struggling at the back of the field at the moment. He's currently 7 and a bit seconds down on the cars up ahead of him, so he's really... I don't think he's liking Winton so much, Sinker, and it is a track that I think he hasn't found the rhythm yet. He hasn't found what it takes to really get comfortable around here.
It's not an easy one when you're still learning. It really isn't. It takes a while, and if you go out of once you start blue flagging and stuff like that, it gets even worse because you're constantly getting out of the way. I know that I have in the past on a Sunday night when I used to race Sunday nights. Just told the guys, look, I'm getting out of the session. I'm just getting in the way here because I was just in blue flag mode the whole way through. So it really sucked.
Yeah, it's very similar with Sandown, I think because Sandown's so small, if you get out of sync, then that can be your race over because you're stuck in the blue flag loop of having to move out of the way, letting cars through, and you're just trying to make gains, but you're constantly going backwards. It's the same with this one as well.
I think Greg Davis asked what happened to Brad. This is after his little off track with Jamie. And
that was Josh who had an off track with Jamie.
Oh, was it Josh?
Yeah, it was Mr. King and his Mustang who got clipped by Mr. Davis. But,
I don't know why he's that far back at the moment. He just must be just having a...
I think he's just struggling, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like honestly, it is a track that it can be incredibly difficult when you are out of rhythm, but a driver who's not out of rhythm at the moment is Dylan Gray, who's going to have this one sewn up with only 1.5 minutes to go. He's going to be looking like...
looking good.
Probably one lap to go when he crosses the line.
Yeah. And I've got Blaze Fitzpatrick and Brett Taylor on the other screen for you as well, mate. So the boys are going to fight. This one's a given. He's got just under 4 seconds gap there, so he does love his track, and he's done really well to get it out there, get a clean start. But then you got Blake Fitzpatrick, Brett Taylor, and Sean Vanderbilt fighting for that elusive position straight after him. But you know, Troy and Travis haven't given up either. 6/10 between those two boys too.
Yeah, the battles are still commencing around this circuit. It may have been an ultra dominant display so far by Dylan Gray, but it's not over until the shouting, obviously. And second race could bring anything. We already saw lap 1 dramas here tonight. No safety car as of yet around here. Obviously, it's a nice wide open circuit, but when you are kind of to the left-hand side of track, those walls are still incredibly close around the edge of this circuit. You can lead to some drama, can lead to cars getting stuck, but also blown engines around you too, pushing the revs a little bit too hard down the straights can catch you out. Into the final sector now comes Dylan Gray after an ultra-dominant performance here tonight. Peter Pav has had an incident in the background, and we're going to stick here with the leader as Dooley tries to hold off Daly in the background of this shot right now. Around the final couple of corners comes Dylan Gray for DG Motorsport. His team's up in the air at the moment, but what isn't is his performances, as it is another strong run for Dylan Gray and another win for him here in the Supercars on Tuesday nights. Troy Dooley's going to come home in a drag race across the line where Daly takes home P2, Billy Mole in P3, John Gallen makes up the top 5 here tonight with Andrew Cowan in behind him. But the battle has not over for the amateurs. Fitzpatrick's going to take P9, but Brett Taylor, our resident Tasmanian, takes home P10 and is going to start pole position for race number 2.
Yeah, exactly. Race number 2, like we mentioned at the very beginning of this race, how could it have been to see those two at the front of it? And they've done exactly what we put on our wish list. Thank you guys for the Christmas present early. Watching them two at the front of the pack, it's going to be an absolute ripper. Oh, look at this. Dylan Gray's already in the green.
Brad Hayes and Stephen Martin having an absolute drag race down towards turn number 1. I suppose he was far enough up the road to be able to do it, actually, to be fair to him. So we can have a quick chat to him while we check out Mr. McAvoy's expression session during the warm-up.
Yeah, I think he was that far up the road, he could have gone to the toilet and back by now.
Yeah, made himself a casual cup of tea or a coffee and just settle into the lounge. But
all right, let's drag him in. Let's drag him in.
Still driving as well.
Mr. Gray, how you doing?
Yeah, well.
Yeah. You could have at least tried to race, get some pace out of that car, mate. What's going on? You're slow tonight.
Nah. I can do an 18 if I really want to. That's pushing it to the edge, but I went, nah, we'll just putt around.
You just took it easy, yeah? Just have a bit of a putter, just stretch the legs a little bit, yeah, and that was it?
Yeah, pretty much. Next race is the more important one.
Well, the next one, you're going to fight your way back from the 10th place. It's going to be interesting, and the Brett Taylor and who was the other one? That's up the front.
Blake,
Fitzpatrick,
and, Brett and Blake.
They're going to be leading it out. They're not going to be any slouches, but it's going to be interesting, mate. It's going to be very interesting.
One thing I'm going
Where's
to say,
going to be your favourite?
If there's a wreck at turn 1, I'm going grass.
You're going grass.
I did that in real life, and it worked.
Yeah.
You got to slow down in real life.
I went slowly through the grass because I didn't want to damage the car.
Oh, fair
so
enough.
Technically, I did get to slow down.
Yeah. Where are you going to? Where's your favourite place to pass here?
First loop, after the sweeper.
After the sweeper.
Yep.
Yep. Cool.
If not there, probably turn 3 or turn 1. One of those.
Okay. We'll be eagerly watching. How's the setup feel?
No, the setup's fine.
Yep.
Special setup.
This is probably a setup you've been working on for years, yeah? Being it's one of your favourite tracks.
Let's just say I started using the setup today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, well done, mate. Well, as long as you're happy with it and it feels good, that's the most important thing.
Well, the person who did it, I should trust him with the setup.
Oh, well then, okay, that's cool. Who did it for you?
Rayhan.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah. That's a given. That's going to be a half decent setup for you. Well,
he can do 17s.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
slow
for Rayhan, though. Surely he can do 16s or 15s.
17s is on the limit.
We'll see on Sunday night.
That's high 17s.
Sunday night's going to be very interesting then, I think. It's going to be an interesting night out.
I won't be there Sunday night. I'm spotting Dad in GD3s. But the following Monday, Watkins Glen round, I'll be back.
Oh, nice. Well, mate, we're going to get you out of here. We're going to see Tyson's expression session. He's waving his flag at us, trying to get us to have a chinwag with him. So we're going to have a chat with him. You get ready for your race, mate, and good luck for the feature.
Thank you.
Take care, buddy. Keep moving my. Yeah, I'll go to grab the other person. And you grab me in.
No, he left himself. He left himself.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Let's get this pathetic excuse of human being. How are you, Tyson?
Good, mate. How are you?
Can I just point out Tyson has...
a flashing light you're doing. You probably wanted to talk to us.
Still got him on. I didn't even realise.
I just wanted to point out as well, Tyson doesn't have SRW on his car. He has another broadcast channel on his car.
Yeah, I know. He's got some dodgy vehicle looking out there.
Well, you can tell I don't drive this car if I don't have my own team paint on it, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to
Well,
register in the wrong car tonight, so I thought I might just do a expedition lap, but
Surely you're going to
definitely
the,
a
surely
weird
you're
track
going to
to
the
drive
burnout
around.
pad. Go for a burnout. Oh, you've already driven past the entry, Tyson.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn the car.
Well, it's good to see you out on track in the V8, mate.
Well,
it's not a bad time. I think it's comparable with Josh's.
To nobody. 22.
It's comparable to a safety car.
Yeah, definitely.
There's this spin. There's one we're looking for. Oh, look, we lost 3 viewers during your during your drive. Four.
Yeah, they
four.
sort of
Just
tracking
lost
that guy,
4.
not this guy again.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. Well,
Rookie
great
mistake,
sitting
but yeah,
right
good to
on.
be in the supercar again doing a lap. And it's definitely weird
Well,
being
it's
in
been
a
a long
Mustang.
time, mate. Been a long, long time. Anyway,
Don't like
we'll let
being
you
in a
go.
Mustang. All right,
We'll
thanks,
let you
boys.
go.
Have a good
some
call.
fun. How's the office upstairs, mate? Is it busy? I should say downstairs.
It's pretty easy tonight. Like it's Winton, very open, as you said in the broadcast. So shouldn't be expecting too much. Been a few penalties, but apart from that, it's been pretty clean racing.
lay off
That
my team,
first
will ya?
race went quick, so.
All right, buddy. Take care. Good luck in there, mate.
Thanks,
and
boys.
don't let Greg do all the work.
Never.
All right.
All right, we got rid of him.
Starting grid for race number 2 is as follows. Brett Taylor will start pole position for Valve Esports ahead of Blake Fitzpatrick out of P2 here tonight. Daniel Clutterbuck and Rick Weiger will then line up on the second row of the grid in behind, with Andrew Cowan and John Gallen swapping positions here for race number 2. Billy Mole, Travis Daly will then line up on the 4th row ahead of Troy Dooley and winner of race number 1, Dylan Gray for DG Motorsport in the top 10. Everyone else will start how they finished in race number 1, with Vandermeulen and Healy making up the second row of the grid here tonight. If it's going to let me move the grid thing here. Down towards Matty Parker and Scotty Weston. Keegan Caldwell and Jamie Davis. Stephen Martin, Brad Hayes. Di Feldman and Marty Hughes making up the top 20. Andrew Rushworth, Josh King. And then Brad Anderson and Peter Pavlik. Apparently, Peter Pavlik actually blew his engine in race number 1 there. That's why he's at the back of the field. Our racing controllers, obviously, Greg Barber, Tyson McAvoy. Let's get ready to go racing for a second time here tonight around Winton.
I've got my camera on Dylan Gray. Let's see how he moves through the field. He's sitting on the inside of the track. Rick Figure's car's looking pretty sexy with his Angry Birds there. And he's got a lot of fast guys around him, so he's going to have to be driving safe, that's for sure.
Yeah, he can't push it too early doors here in this second race. Needs to try and mitigate those mistakes, try and stay as clean as possible. Might be in a good position though if there is a bit of a blow up at turn 1. Just to cut turn 1, cop the slow down, but as long as your car's nice and clean, you can keep on going. There could be some free positions gained there.
Yes, 100%. It's going to be, yeah, look, you lose a spin at the front here, you'll go straight to the back of the grid. Sorry, I was listening to the grid conversation as well at the same time.
We, of course, saw that happen with Matty Parker. Spun it down at turn 3, lap 1. He went down to the back of the field. Only managed to get back up to P13 here tonight. Yeah. So now he'll be trying to get back inside the top 10 just to get some solid points in this one. It's going to be a good night,
He needs to get on the back of Dylan Gray and work his way through with him.
He does. He needs to try and get an absolutely maximum start here. Brett Taylor, Blake Fitzpatrick, they've got, well, not really all the work to do here tonight. They've kind of got the easy run because they're starting from the front of the field. P3 in their classes all the way down outside the top 10. They've just got to try and hold position, try and keep it clean, and they could get some great points over their adversaries in the rest of the amateur class. They could then get a nice gap going into the final 3 rounds out in the US.
Elbows out, that's all I've got to say. Elbows out. Do a Dougie Gowns, guys. And just don't let anyone past.
Good morning
Daniel
to
Clutterbuck,
you,
Rick
Stacey
Bigger.
Boyd, as well. The US-based supercar driver who races in the Vets has now gotten up nice and early for him. I believe it's like 3:30 in the morning for Stacey, so good morning to you, sir. Great to have you in the chat. Aiden Rice as well. Let's go East-West Racing, boys. We'll see how they do tonight. Scotty Weston unfortunately dropped down the order a little bit in race number 1. Craig Healy struggled a little bit in P12, but lights are going to go up. We're going to go racing for the second time out at Winton here for our feature race. 40 minutes to come with Taylor and Fitzpatrick on the front row of the grid. Clutterbuck and Fire line up in behind as they get going. It's a bit of a box start there from Travis Daly and Billy Bowl. That's now going to give free spots to Dylan Gray up towards turn number 1. As they come on through for the very first time, Taylor tries to hold P1. Now they're going to blow up through here. There's been big contact in the background with Martin.
Oh, there's a few boys who've got to take the grass to get around that, otherwise it'd be a massive bottleneck. We're getting a bit of a flicker going on with all that bottleneck going on, but the boys are there. Dylan's got himself too wide with Clutterbuck, already got up, 4 places. Doing a great job there. 5 places for Gray. Clutterbuck has dropped himself down 3 and Cowan 2, so the boys have already got on the single file and already making their way through.
The ones who were involved in that initial incident was Matty Parker, Stephen Martinez, Cowie and Graham are coming together, and there's been big contact with Clutterbuck and with, I think it was Troy Dooley as well. Dylan Gray's been involved.
3 cars. Oh, he wants to rejoin. Straight in. He's getting a drive through for that Dylan Gray. He'll get a drive through. He's hit a car and that's a big mate, feel for you. That's going to be tough. He's got a lot of work to do there to get back up to 40 end. What can he do with that? But look at this at the moment. We've got Blake Fitzpatrick and Brett Taylor nice and comfortable at the front. They've got themselves a 1.3 second buffer on Rick Vigor. Doing really, really well. Dylan Gray's all the way down the back in the 23rd, 24th. He must have some major damage. He's gone in the pits.
Yeah, that car is looking worse for wear, and this could be race over for Dylan Gray. Keegan Caldwell's also coming to the pit lane as well. Matty Parker's just trying to survive and get back up to the front of the field. Stacey in the chat saying 6:30. Work is starting. Oh, 6:30 in the morning. I was a bit overzealous then. What time are you getting up, Stacey? But, oh, you know what? I was thinking about when he gets up for vets.
Have up 14 places. Josh King up 10. Jamie Davis up 10. Some big movers up there.
Rushworth having a big battle here with King. Gets past him all. Nearly collected Sean Vandermeulen on the way through. Robbie Bradbury in the chat. Dylan will have empty some gravel being out there. Yeah, he will. He'll have to get the shovel out. As unfortunately for Josh King, he's run it wide at the hairpin. He's now going to drop down some spots.
Oh, he's just, he's just been a gentleman, man. He's trying not to get away and trying to stay safe, and he's just picked the line a bit too wide. He's doing what I used to do when I used to get fast guys around me and not try to get in the way. That'll come with time. He's doing really well.
He'll get the aggression up eventually, as Dylan Gray's going to have to try and fight through this field. He's already on the back foot.
He's got a Western incident early on, and there's no further action, so that's all good to go. Sorry to one of the lads. Let me pick a battle here. I'm going to Mr. Rushworth because they've got Dylan spun again. Oh, he's hit the back of Josh. Brad Anderson, yeah. He's called it in. I'm not sure much Brad could do there. Let's have a look at it. Oh, Brad's lost the car, I reckon.
That
looked
pretty,
like
that's
a
pretty
net
tough.
code. That's not something Brad would do. I think he just lost the traction or something.
Oh, so this was Brad earlier in the lap. He ended up going off here. Keegan behind him. I think this might be the start of it here. So he's tried to get out of Dylan's way. Isn't sure if he's there or not. Then tries to go back on his line. Unfortunately,
I reckon
Brad
the net code there looked like his car was half inside.
It looked like it got kind of magnetized together, didn't it, Sinko? It almost was like he was sucked in.
Yeah, because his car was like halfway inside of it, mate.
Oh, you're trying to find another view. That's all right. Stacey Boyd saying challenging circuit, especially after the F1 motor tracks, different mindset. It's a completely different mindset, Stacey. It's a completely different way of approaching this circuit. It's very, very difficult, very, very challenging, as you mentioned. And it's a complete wrestle and wriggle around here. You've really got to try and pick your lines properly. We mentioned it's a very rhythmic track. You lose your rhythm, you lose your head. Unfortunately for Dylan, that's happened to him.
Teammates Matty Parker and Sean Vandermeulen gone too wide down the back for the chicane. Christ, they're still going too wide. No love lost there. Matty Parker's made his way through. It's like, sorry, bro, we are teammates, but I'm getting through here.
Wanted to force the issue on that one, but yeah, it's a very rhythmic track. Obviously, Stacey, as we mentioned, Sinker, you lose that rhythm, you lose your head a little bit. And unfortunately for Dylan, I think his head's gone a little bit now. Just needs to take the time, reset, focus up, and then look on forward to try and make up any positions that he can throughout the rest of this race.
Yeah, no, exactly right, exactly right. Sentiment to lose someone.
That's Tyson who's currently calling something. Brad Anderson is now in the pit lane trying to fix his car at the moment. Whether he's going to come back out on the track or not, I'm not 100% sure. As we currently stand, Blake Fitzpatrick leads the way by half a second over Brett Taylor, with Rick Viger fast approaching in the background. John Gallen's not too far back, as well as Jamie Davis up into P5 on the road now here tonight. He's up 11 spots, in this race. As we then move down to Travis Daly, Billy Moll, Andrew Cowan, Craig Healy. Peter Pavlik makes up the top 10. He's up 14 spots in this one after blowing his engine in the last race. Unfortunately for Brad Anderson, he's just come out of the pits and I believe he's pulling over to let the field go by. He's just trying to do the nice thing. Such a tough pit exit here, especially when you are a lap down. Trying to let this car pass, you don't want to impede anyone. It's an absolute nightmare around here. This track is a real ego killer. If you have a poor race around here, it can really hurt the ego.
Or it can bring your ego back to ground, Dylan. He is just cracked. The last lap he did was a 1:19.616. That's the fastest lap of the night so far. So he's on a cracking pace trying to get back all the way to the front. It's going to be a long fight for him. Battle up front. Rick Vigor has caught these boys. So it's now Brett Taylor and Rick Vigor with John Gallen as well snuck on the back of them. So they've got a nice 4-pack going up the front of the grid. We'll see how they look, whether it looks like a Stanley Winton day.
I was just laughing at that. Day. If we had rain, it would be absolutely pissing down right now. Car 991 drive-through penalty incident responsibility, lap 1, turn 7. So that is going the way of, Andrew Cowan. So unfortunately for Cowie, he's copped himself a penalty. He's going to have to bring the car into the lane. John Gallen's had a bit of a moment down in towards turn 4. He's now got Cowie coming up in behind him, but he knows that Cowie has that drive-through, so it means that he may lose the position, but he won't lose it for very long. But Fitzpatrick still controls the field ahead of Taylor and Viger in the top 3 at the moment.
Travis Daly has got Billy Moll breathing down the back of his neck with 4/10 like crazy. And then the next battle is Healy with Peter Pav down at 2/10. So the boys are going like crazy. Car 52 drive for a penalty failure to hold brakes. Yeah, we saw that earlier.
That's still in grey, so that's now him copping the penalty for that one.
Yeah.
Which he hasn't committed to yet. So I think now, I know no matter how good Dylan is, I think that's pretty much race over. We're just about 10 minutes in. We've still got pit stops to come, even with a safety car. He'd need one pretty much now just to try and get back into contention. I can't see it happening. If it was an hour-long race, then yes, for sure, it could definitely happen, but I don't know about that now.
That's been upgraded to stop the race. So he's 2 penalties to serve there for not holding brakes and also
This was Gray's incident down at turn 3. See, you got clipped by Cowie, then was kind of served around and then in towards, I think that was Clutterbuck. And there was an absolute schmozzle down at the gum tree. You'd love to be a koala down there. You would have had the best seat in the house. Comes out, nearly collects Matty Parker. Just a tough night for him here tonight.
Yeah, it is a tough one, mate. He ended all his own way on the first one, and the second race went backwards very, very, very quickly, I might add. The boys are still battling it. Actually, the top 10 are getting closer and closer to each other. I think Brett Taylor and Blake Fitzpatrick are putting a bit of a bottleneck into the faster guys are catching them, but can't pass them just yet.
We did mention that, didn't we? We mentioned that these guys could be a bit of a clutterbuck here. Bank them all up, get a bit, force the other drivers to have to be a bit more aggressive. Try and force moves happen. Could cause some more chaos to come, but also could cause us more intense battles to come. Car 104 drive-through penalty. Contact with car 52, lap 1, turn 7. That'll be going the way of, I'm finding the list, Brad Anderson, unfortunately for him. So that's the incident with Dylan Gray. Unfortunately for Brad, he's now going to have to traverse through the lane, and his night only goes from bad to worse. And Winton claims another ego victory here tonight.
Brad, chin up, mate. Just use it as a practice session, mate. Get your nerves out, shake it off, get up, shake it out, and just keep going, mate. That's the way it is. That's what happens. Tell you what, though, the battle is still going crazy. The boys up front have done really well. Peter Pad up 16th places.
He is absolutely gaining. I can't even think of words to describe it. It's absolutely indescribable how well he is doing in this race. He's not too far off the back of this battle, about 6 seconds off the back of John Gallen, as Jamie Davis is putting major pressure here on with Weiger currently P3 on the road. This is the battle for the final podium position as Brett Taylor and Blake Fitzpatrick look to run away with it. These guys start battling, Sinker. We could see the AM start to run away and possibly go for that overall podium finish here tonight.
Yeah, they're looking really good now. You can't take it off them. We said that they're going to do a good job, and they've been doing exactly that. They've kept it all the way through. I'm going to pick.
Unfortunately, just
Jamie
quickly,
Davis
that's the battle we're currently on. Unfortunately for Davis, there's been contact in the background with Weiger and with Billy Mole. I was about to mention Davis forced Weiger to lock it up there through 3, ran him wide. Perfectly legal move at the end of the day. Weiger's then had to come back on track. How has this happened with Billy Mole, though? Because he was in amongst this battle too. So Weiger's gone out wide, tried to rejoin it on the track, hasn't realised Billy's there, and they've just come together and into the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah. It was like glue.
Yeah.
I think iRacing's having a bit of an issue tonight because it seemed like even that contact then looked like they was sort of like magnetised together as well.
It appears Winton has a new sponsor, and it might be Gorilla Glue here tonight. As cars are just sticking together like... That was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did love that one.
Yeah, it was good.
I'll tell you what, I like the camera TV2 rather than TV1. TV1's a little bit too far away.
They're just close to each other. They're just different angles. I think TV1's slightly higher up, where TV2's more towards the ground.
Mine's on TV2 a lot.
So what I would say is, Sinker, just to pull back the curtain a little bit, for the little screen, the further back camera angle's better because the screen's smaller, obviously. When they're zoomed in so much on the small screen, you can actually see less. What your camera is bigger like this, obviously.
Yeah.
So, as Vandermeulen's coming in the lane.
To the nitty-gritties as well. I reckon we're going to, one season, we're going to have to just sit there, me and you, and just go for different camera angles or different things. Just do a whole pre-production thing like that with real TV. What do you reckon, mate?
Well, I've already done. Well, my job is getting up car cameras. So you can find someone who can do track cams because they are a headache.
So what you're saying? There's too much work on it.
Well, when I do work for myself, Sinker, I get the beauty of having Jay Kennedy from SimSpeed give me his cameras, so I don't have to do the track camera work. So we need to find someone like him who can do the work. As Travis Daly's had a bit of a spin in the background, and he's had it coming together with John Gallen. Oh, and the drivers are just starting to fall off the pecking order a little bit here. Jamie Davis, though, is up on the back of Brett Taylor, and now it's major pressure for the top two on the road as they come down the main straight once again with a looming Fernando Alonso in the background and the Logitech G sign there.
It is. I just keep saying that. I'm like, oh no. I've got the second cam sitting on our boys, John Gallen. It seems to be. It looks like he's offended his fan club because there's hardly any Gallen supporters out there tonight. But he's having a great little battle there with.
Well, that's Peter Pavlovic, not John Gallen.
Sorry, John Gallen, but I put it on Peter Pav because he's on 18 places, so I was getting there. Yeah, because he's up 18 places. Is that an absolute cracker of a run?
Yeah, both him and Davis have done exceptionally well. They've done well to avoid the early incidents. You know, just try and keep it as clean as possible. And all of a sudden, Jamie Davis is now an outside shout for this P1 on the road, but he has to try and get past Taylor and Fitzpatrick, obviously. I think if anyone's going to be able to get an undercut done, it's going to be Davis. What I think Taylor needs to do now is he needs to try and call the undercut, come in early, and then just hope and pray that Fitzpatrick can hold up Davis enough that he comes out still ahead of him.
Very true, but it's also really hard to go your fastest pace when you've got a fast driver behind you as well, because you tend to look into your rearview mirrors. So perfect time for one of these guys to dip into the...
I'm saying that Brett should try and call this, come in early, leave these two out here to have a bit of a battle, and he's going to be able to pay the benefits of it.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'd be doing if I was one of these two forward guys. Because, the undercut.
And then I think what Jamie needs to do is he needs to try and go as long as possible, hope these guys attempt the undercut so he gets the clear track so he can push on and try and counteract it. So
Scotty Weston's putting the pressure on. Look at him having a bit of a look there on Peter Pav.
Oh, he's having a proper dip there with the old Pavlova.
777, Travis Daly in for a drive-through for failure to hold brakes.
Yeah, that's the one with John Gallen that we saw in the background.
Yeah.
As they come up through the gum tree now, as Davis tries to hang out with Brett Taylor at the front of the field. All the cars have started to spread out here on track. Sinker. Dylan Gray is back out on track. So he is now cutting laps once again. So is Brad Anderson. Unfortunately, though, it's still going to be a tough night on circuit for him as he is 30-odd seconds off the back of Rick Feiger. But through all the chaos, anything can happen and anyone can get taken out at any time. And he could get some free positions off the back of it.
Very, very true, mate. Very, very true. And at the end of the day, Jamie can sit in third. He's still got the top step for the pros. But,
he doesn't have Burridge here who's going to be challenging him. No one ahead of him is gaining points on him.
Yeah.
He's not really losing much out.
Position.
Plus, now, if he finishes here, we only have 3 people to talk to tonight, Cinco. The top 3. Because the AM winner's on there.
This is true. This is very true. But you've got to take your hat off. Blake Fitzpatrick and Brett Taylor are doing an exceptional job up the front there, mate. Really, really good. Very clean, very concise. No silly things. They're trying to stay on their race lines. Brett knows he's got Davis behind him, but he's just driving clean.
What I think might be the mindset at the moment is just try and get to the final stint. Just try and get to that pit stop. Obviously, you don't want to give up a position if you can, but I don't think they're actually pushing too hard here to try and gain or lose anything at the moment. I think they're willing to sit in their rhythm, sit amongst the cars around them. They know how they're reacting. They know how they're driving. Get to that pit stop. Hope the strategy plays off for you, and then crack on for the final stint. Because that's what's going to win you this race is that strategy, but also being able to crack on up towards the checkered flag.
Yeah. Well, Jamie's pace is probably, it's probably about 4/10 faster than these two boys in front of them at the moment. So he's fine to sit there for a while. I think I'd be maybe even fuel saving for a while, because he's going to get the advantage of it going forward on the guys behind him. Gallen's 5 seconds behind him. Brett Taylor
sent it down the inside of Taylor, though, at turn 1. Got the move done. Exceptional move there from Jamie Davis as Andrew Rushworth brings it into the pits. That was an absolute send and a half. He licked the stamp on that one, but you know what? He did the thing.
Scotty Weston.
Weston's on him as well for Pavlovic. What I think Jamie did there, and what a lot of drivers tend to fail at, but Weston's looking to do it too. He was committed to the move. He didn't back out of it the last minute. He went for it. He sent it, and it paid off for him.
Still side by side. He still hasn't made the move yet. Peter Pav's not giving it up at all. He's got the inside line again. Has he got the over and under going on the back of him? No, 2x2. These guys are tearing it up like crazy in the back there. Weston is still on the inside. They're coming up to the back S's. Oh my
Weston's
God!
Got it done. What a move!
He's finally got it done. Has Pav given up, or is he going to have a crack around his back end after the little straight?
I think maybe a little bit of conceding there from Peter, thinking about, hold your race together, keep it going, have a crack later in the running, as the cars in behind trying to get past the lap traffic of Brad Anderson. Bit of a flick of the lights there from Matty Parker, as we are getting into darker and darker territories here of Winton. We may finish under lights here, Sinker. Under lights, I mean the car's headlights, because there are no track lights around this circuit. So it could be pitch black by the time the race ends. But
it's going to be like, peekaboo, down the straight.
Yeah. Look, who are we looking at here? We can't see their livery. All we can see is the headlights.
Oh, well, my headlights won't work. I got them painted blue.
Oh, well. Oh, no, they still work. They still come through, yeah.
But I'll tell you what, nice pass there by Jamie Davis. Also really nice control by Brett Taylor. For an AM driver, he handled that really well, like a real pro. He didn't crumble under the pressure and go off track or anything. But look at the pressure that Fitzpatrick's got now from Davis. My advice is to Brett Taylor, hit the pits. We are at 19:47, so we're at the 20-minute mark, halfway mark. If I was him, I'd be hitting the pit right now as soon as he gets a chance to.
Yeah, he can get it home from here if he comes in. So
yeah.
I think now's the most beneficial time. He needs Fitzpatrick to stay out. He cannot release Jamie Davis, who's going to try and come down the inside. No, backs out of it the last minute. Fitzpatrick leaves him heaps of room. Bit of a wiggle. Taylor brings it in. He must be listening to us.
To us.
He must
be.
He's
listening.
So Taylor's now
Let's
coming
see
in.
where he comes out. I'm going to switch Taylor to my screen. Let's see how he comes out. He's in the pits.
So now he needs Blake Fitzpatrick to hold up Jamie Davis as much as possible if he hopes to have any hope of this undercut working to absolute perfection for him. His cars can go to about lap 22, lap 23 on fuel, as I was told by Cowie. So now it's all up to the top two. Do they counteract it, or do they try and go as long as possible, try and go as fast as possible, and hope that Taylor comes out in traffic and gets held up? Heap of cars coming into the lane now. Keegan Caldwell's had an incident in the background too. He's still struggling with that car. He's got it going again back up between down the old start straight. Fitzpatrick and Davis, though, they lead the way. Taylor's now come out of the pits, and importantly, he has come out, and in fact, it's crucially, he's come out on his own, fresh air on circuit, and able to push on and get those tyres up to 10.
Tell you what, he's going to be. I want to share the spoils, mate. He's going to get for the top three.
Well, we've spoken about betting odds in IMSA previously. I think right now, Brett Taylor's looking at like a maybe pay it out, I don't know, $2.50 to Jamie Davis is $1.30 at the moment. Blake Fitzpatrick maybe $1.75.
But Fitzpatrick is driving the pants off of this car.
He is. He's driving absolutely sensational.
He's doing an epic job, man. He's got Jamie sitting in 2/10 to 3/10 behind him, and not faltering at all, doing an absolute killer job. Blistering pace.
Well, he's got
They're doing
massive
their last
pressure.
lap. Their last lap was a 120.4 and 120.7. So that's spectacular pace around here for race pace, not just a one-off, bloody hot lap. 22 people out there watching. Thanks for coming and joining us. If you got anyone you want to see, let us know, guys. We've got 2 cameras going, so we can split the love wherever we can. Here we go. Scotty West and Billy Mole in the pits and out. How's Taylor's got out in front of them, which is really good. He's got himself 11 seconds on them, so he's doing really well with that pit, mate.
That was the perfect time for Brett to come in then. He's come out P6 on the road. He's got 37 seconds to the car ahead of, 37 seconds to the car behind him as Davis brings it in, so he's now trying to counteract this too. Brett Taylor needs to get a move on now if he hopes to try and counteract Jamie Davis, who's now just come into the lane. We'll get onto Jamie Davis. We'll keep an eye on Brett Taylor and where he comes around for this battle. He's coming out now on towards the back straight. Davis is in. He's about to get into the box. This is going to be super, super tight between them, but I think Taylor may be able to jump him here in this pit stop as he comes onto the back straight. Davis is still up on the jacks. Oh, it's going to be tight, Zinker. It's going to be super, super tight. Taylor's through the final couple of corners. We're going to head over to Mr. Taylor. Davis has now dropped. Taylor through the final corner. He's going to have the pace, though, down towards turn 1. Davis has to give way on the pit exit when he comes past. Brett Taylor, he's going to get him, and he's going to gap him up towards turn 1. Oh, but now he has to hope. He has to hope.
Really well.
Fitzpatrick needs to come in this lap. He cannot stay out any longer because if Davis gets past Taylor, it's going to hurt him as Caldwell has to get out of their way. Hughes has now brought it into the lane as well. And all of a sudden, Brett Taylor looks good possibly to claim the lead of this race if Fitzpatrick stays out for too long.
That was bloody good driving there by both. I've got Fitzpatrick on the other cam to see how the action unfolds there as well. That's bloody good driving, and you know what? Some epic racing
in
for all the viewers out there to watch.
Fitzpatrick is in. So he's now trying to counteract this. He wants to try and keep ahead of them here. Into the lane he comes on the other screen. We're on board here with the provisional P2 on the road and Brett Taylor, provisional P3 for Jamie Davis. Matty Parker's had a crash in the back up ahead of them, and it's into the pit entry. He's absolutely bottled it there. That's going to cost him positions in this race. Fitzpatrick as well, I think, actually missed his box, so he's had to pull back into it. Taylor's going to come round. He's going to come round the final corner. Fitzpatrick's just dropped. It's going to be uber tight down towards turn number 1. Fitzpatrick has to give way. He's going to claim the lead of the race still. And in fact, he's actually gained massively on Brett Taylor and Jamie Davis through that.
The undercut has worked very, very well here. Jamie needs to stay patient here and make sure he gets a clean pass on the back of Taylor. We don't want to see an incident this late in the race. And these two just need to get together and chase him down. That was some sensational driving there. Well done by Fitzpatrick. What a pearl over a night, man. That is sensational.
Just checking to see Keegan had a crash, but I think he was moving over for some of the other field. But wow.
He was moving over, but I did see, like normally you see just the dust. It looked like really dark dust, and I thought he might have blown his engine or something.
Yeah, that's what I was really worried about. But right now, the undercut, Fitzpatrick has counteracted the undercut to absolute perfection here. Not only has he now gained pace, he was released when Davis came in. He was no longer under pressure.
Peter Pav is undercutting Gallen now.
Oh, so we'll see if this works. Teammates versus teammates. Fitzpatrick leads the way when he comes on through. He'll be still provisional leader. Gallen's a bit further up the road. Pav is in. Fitzpatrick comes on through. Any numbers on fuel put in? Yep, we can look at how long their pit stop was. So these were the pit times.
11 seconds is the average.
Fitzpatrick's was only 10
seconds.
So he went
Taylor
for
13.
If he had gone for the same length of stop as what Taylor did, Taylor would be leading this race right now.
Yeah.
He's deliberately
Jamie's
gone for the shorter
16
stop.
seconds, so
he has.
That 16 seconds is probably the gap that he had on there. But interesting to see Peter Pav's come out in front of... Where's he gone on my screen? In front of Billy Mole. So he's got himself a bit of a fight in his hand. Cold tyres, or colder tyres. Billy Mole is right on the back of him like crazy. John Gallen's still out there. So provisional is still Fitzpatrick, Taylor and Davis. Not sure for how long Taylor's going to have that because Jamie is all over the back side of him. Billy Mole tries to have a go on the inside of Peter Pav on just before the big tree corner and doesn't make it stick.
See,
nice and tight back there.
The battles are continuing on.
Car 40 has just called... Andrew Rushworth has just called something in. He's off track.
Yeah, he's
not sure.
This one in right here.
Oh, him and Cowie. Bit of paint swapping.
That was Feldman just then. So what's happening here? Oh, Martin's down his inside. Big door into the sand. Oh, I don't know about that one there for Martin. Oh, and then he's nearly had a collision with Daly after that as well. So it's a tough one. Tough one to call for sure. Caldwell's apparently, he's actually had an incident now and he's back further through the field and he's really struggling.
Yeah. He looks like he's crab walking actually. The battle on that bottom screen is
she's
crazy.
had a massive... Feldman's had a massive bottle into the pits here. What's she done on the entry? She just overcooked it. She's come through. She's in behind Cowie. Into the pit lane now she comes. Absolutely sends it. Oh, yeah. Massive overcook. And she's actually hit the tyres.
Yeah.
Oh.
You've just missed a beautiful pass on Billy Mole on Peter Pav. Across the back there, done really, really well.
We still had her on
Dive's going to be
screen,
there for a bit, I reckon. She's straight in and out.
Yeah, she's in the pits. John Gallen's also now come in as well, so Fitzpatrick could be looking to take the lead. We've finally got some headlights, Sinker. I must say, I love seeing a race end at twilight. It's absolutely beautiful, especially in the supercars. It's really just going to help us lend ourselves well to an interesting night ahead.
He's coming out behind Brett Taylor. So the gap is down 1.5. So Blake Fitzpatrick has done really well. He has actually managed to pull away from Jamie Davis. He's got himself down to a second. So very well done. Billy Mole and Peter Pav are putting on a bit of a show in the back there like crazy. Where's another battle that we can look at? Matty Parker and Daniel Clutterbuck are really close as well. Travis Daly and Steve Martin. And then the other battle is Andrew Rushworth and Rick Viger. Viger has lost himself a fair bit of pace down there. He's down 12 places. I'm not sure what happened there.
He had the big incident earlier in the race. Yeah, if you remember, Viger had that big incident with Billy Mole earlier in the race down at turn 4. So that's one. Car 16 drive-through penalty. Car contact with car 40 lap 20 turn 3. That, I believe, is going to Stephen Martin. So that'll be the incident before that we saw with Andrew Rushworth. Jamie Davis.
Yeah, he's actually He's actually just reached out over the comments and apologised to Andrew as well, which is very sportsmanlike of him. 23 viewers, woohoo! Well done, peeps. Get out there, like, subscribe. Look, what's on tomorrow night? Tomorrow night is
F3 out at Twin Ring Motegi.
What I want from the F3 drivers tomorrow night is for them to reach out to 2 friends or family members to come and watch. With 30 to close to 40 cars on the grid, we should be able to break our record. We should be able to get at least 2 friends to watch. I'm going to put that in Discord as well. Come out and watch tomorrow night, peeps. Let's see if we can break our record. I think it was 70-something was our most we had.
Well, at the moment, Jamie Davis is trying to put all sorts of pressure over the cool, calm and collected Blake Fitzpatrick, who leads this race. He's yet to have an overall win in the Tuesday night Supercars. Davis has had a plenty. As he tries to keep the pressure on, he wants to try and get the run off the corner. Big wiggle off the back of the Team SRW Mustang as he tries to hold position here in behind Fitzpatrick, trying to get the run down towards the next corner. As we continue on, 10 minutes to go, just under here in this race. Fitzpatrick covers the inside line. Davis wants it round the outside. Is he going to get it done through the double right? Fitzpatrick covers the inside line. Still, he's going to get the better run. He's going to retain the lead. It's a big slide out the final corner. Davis is going to claim it up towards 1.
Is he going to get the braking done? He's got the momentum. He's got it overlapped and done. Well done. Now it's time for Brett Taylor to attack. He needs to attack to get away from John Gallen. He wants Gallen. He wants to beat Fitzpatrick behind him, so Gallen is fighting him instead of the other way around. So it's going to be a fight all the way through to this second place now. And Gallen is at 1.7 seconds, so slowly catching. The fight I've got on the second camera is Craig Healy and Matty Parker having an absolute blast out the back. Parker is just having a bit of a look on the inside, just letting Healy know that he's there. It looks like, here we go. It looks like Blake's gone wide. It's given Fitzpatrick, given Taylor a bit of a sniff on that inside line. Oh, these guys are going to be battling it out all the way through.
What this means now is Jamie Davis has now been released and he's now been unshackled and looks now to head on towards another victory this season. I think Fitzpatrick and Taylor's tyres may be a little bit too worn now after trying to hold him off and try and keeping up with him. But what it could mean is we could have another intense battle here for second place on the road. John Gallen looks to get involved too. He's about a second down from them. You can see him lurking in the background off the back of Taylor. And PER would love nothing more than a couple of Pelicans on the overall podium here tonight. But Brett Taylor will try and hold this off as best as possible.
He's a Pelican with a shark fin, mate. He's just watching these boys in front of him going, he's just going to bounce. He's down to 43 seconds. Taylor on Fitzpatrick. John Gallen is watching it all unfold in front of him with a 1 second buffer. But behind them, Scotty Weston 10 seconds behind. So Gallen's got nothing to look forward to in the back of the mirrors. Scotty Weston and Craig Healy, Matty Parker and Craig Healy are absolutely turning it on. And now Daniel Clutterbuck's caught the pack of them, and they're going to have a 3-way tussle all the way through for the rest of the race, I think.
We've got a couple of 3-way dances on offer. It's Fitzpatrick, Taylor and Gallen. And obviously Parker, Healy and Clutterbuck as well, a little bit further down the order. We're going to get into the final 6 minutes of this race. It looks like we're not going to have any safety cars here tonight out at Winton, but Davis looks to solidify another win in this one, with Fitzpatrick and Taylor just trying to survive on the podium at this stage in time. It was a dominant performance in race 1 from Dylan Gray. Unfortunately, race number 2 is not on his way here tonight. That's now left the door open for a fantastic battle at the front of the field, with Jamie Davis leading them on to the next lap of this race.
Yeah, Stephen Banks hopefully can pounce on Taylor and hold it safe fits. We'll see what happens. These boys are fighting it out there. It's going to be all the way through. We've got, 5.5 minutes to go. Probably got, how many laps you reckon, mate? What did you say, 4 laps?
It's about 5 minutes, just about. It's about 1:20 per lap, so I'd say
about 4 laps or so.
4 laps, maybe 5, depending on when they cross the line.
Yeah, depending on how they cross the line.
Yeah.
Jamie would probably going to slow down so he can get himself save that extra lap on the time clock. But I tell you what, Clutterbuck has got in on this thing and he's gone like crazy on the back of Healy. Matty Parker has made that move and gone. He's left these boys. So it's Healy and Clutterbuck now finding it through.
There's been a crash in the background with Guy Feldman and Josh
Feldman,
King.
yeah.
What's happened between them? Well, Brad Anderson lapped down. Oh, that almost looks like he's impeding Feldman there, trying to help his teammate past. Feldman's trying to get it done down the inside. Fortunate there. Did well better hold brakes. But
She just lost the rear end, and she.
as Healy's also now gone off the track. That's now that Clutterbuck passed in the bottom screen. As the battles continue on here into the final couple of minutes of this race. We are now on to lap 27, 4 minutes to go in this one. The battle at the front of the field is not over just yet. They're coming up to lap traffic of Brad Anderson and Josh King. They're just trying to survive at this point in time. They're just trying to let them past as Fitzpatrick tries to hold off Mr. Brett Taylor up in the blimp now. We can see Davis has got a nice lead ahead of him. And these boys are just trying to hold position right now. Gallen wants to try and pounce. Only a couple of minutes left. So not long for him to get this done. King gets out of the way nicely, though. Does well there just to let them through.
Scotty Weston and Billy Mole having a great little tussle. I've got on the second camera for you, mate. They're doing a great little fight. Looks like Billy Mole is having a good night tonight. He's only up one place, but Peter Pav still up 17. Scotty Weston is having a good night. He's returned to form the last few weeks. Has been really good, mate. Up 9 places tonight.
Well, of course, I mean, Billy Mole, though, it's not just the one position he's gained. He's had to gain back all the positions that he lost after the early incident in this race with Rick Viger, of course, as well, where he went off track. So everything's kind of shifted for him, and he's had to make backup spots. 3 minutes to go. The battle for P2 on the road now intensifies as John Gallen looks to get involved as well with Brett Taylor and Blake Fitzpatrick. It's going to be all on for the final couple of laps for the honours out at Winton before we head over to the US for our final triple header of the season.
How cut is Brett Taylor going to be if he loses that last spot and doesn't get to talk to us?
I know, right? It's the one chance he'd get to talk to us as P2 in the amateurs. And if he loses this spot, he loses that opportunity.
Him to get top 3 in the Pro-Ams is Pro-Am versus Ams. That's sensational. Outright top 3. That's his best drive. No matter what happens tonight, top 4, Brett Taylor, best drive he's had all year so far. Finishing on the 4th place outright is sensational for him.
Well, it's going to be hard going 2-on-1 with two feisty Pelicans on track with Gallen and Fitzpatrick.
Is backed him in?
Oh, for sure. They're going to team play this so hard to try and get Gallen through. Taylor's not going to try and crack under pressure, though. He's going to want to try and get through.
Full second and 1/10 slower than his best lap. So he's backed him up. He's done a Carlos Sainz with Lando Norris, except it's the opposite way. Carlos was giving Lando some, giving him the DRS, where this one is not working that way quite.
Oh no! Oh, that was Brad Anderson off in the background on the bottom screen.
Did you see that?
I did. I caught that at the last minute. We've got
he's just missed that wall.
We've got 2 laps to go.
That's what happens when you try to get out of the way.
I know. It's better. You're better off just being predictable. You're better off just being predictable, not trying to go out of your way. You know, faster cars can get round you at the end of the day.
He's all over the back of Fitzpatrick. He really wants it. Look at him.
Gallen's dropped.
Gallen's dropped bit.
We're going to have 1 lap left when we cross the line. 60 seconds to go on the timer at the moment. Taylor's trying to hang on to this 3rd position. He'd be hoping that Jamie Davis just slows up a little bit, tries to let the clock run down to see if we can not go a lap extra as we come down towards the back straight.
Did some gardening, and he's lost a fair bit of pace there on Scotty Weston. So the battles are all over, really. It's really just the top 4 that are in contention for anything that's sensational, with our Pro-Ams and our Ams sitting in 2nd and 3rd, fighting for the final top spot for the Am series. That's unbelievable.
Jamie Davis is going to cross the line. He's going to get the white flag. The battle that we're going to continue looking at here is Fitzpatrick versus Taylor. Might take a wild send here from Brett Taylor to try and get P1 in the amateurs, P2 on the road here tonight. But he may just want to try and consolidate this podium finish at this stage in time. What a wild night it has been. We're now in the twilight hours of this Winton race for the for the start of our final half of the season for round number 6 here tonight before we head over to the US for a triple header, starting with the Enduro next week out at Watkins Glen.
On the other cam for you, mate.
Brilliant, mate. Line that up absolutely perfect for me. That's what I wanted. So the battles are continuing on. Up past the gum tree comes Fitzpatrick now. Taylor trying to hang with him. I don't know if there's going to be left anything in the tank for Taylor here to try and get this done. Lines it right up behind the rear wing as they come down towards the final sector. But
he's not giving up.
He's not. Jamie Davis is going to come round onto the back straight. These guys are going to follow him through. Davis has got a hell of a lead, 4.3 seconds, nearly 4.4 seconds at the moment. Through the final couple of corners now for Jamie Davis as he looks to claim yet another win this season. He's going to claim the checkered flag. He's going to claim the victory here in this race over the rest of the field after gaining 15 positions here tonight. But it's Taylor and Fitzpatrick. Oh, Fitzy's just outlasted him across the line. Taylor gets on the podium. Oh, what a night.
Fitzpatrick nearly lost the rear end just then. Did you see it squirming off the line? The amount of pace he took over the line was ridiculous. Oh, what a race, mate. This is spectacular driving. The pros and the pro-ams and AMs tonight have really turned it on. And a big pat on the back to Fitzpatrick and Taylor. Sensational driving tonight. Sensational. Just what we wished for, eh?
Exactly what we wished for.
Bit of an expression session there from Mr. Davis now. I think, you know what? Brett hasn't won the top step, but, yeah, that's still a nudie run. You know, that's top 3 outright. That's the biggest he's had, man. Look at that Warren and Brown car just fishing its way around the track. Get these boys in front of the grid. Oh. He's missed his point.
No, he's deliberately gone for that. He's gone for the tip in.
Has he? Oh, good.
He's gone for the tip in off that one. After an exceptional performance from him here tonight. Provisional race results on your screen now for our feature race here tonight for round number 6. It was Jamie Davis for P1 for Team SRW ahead of Blake Fitzpatrick and Brett Taylor making up the podium here tonight, as well as P1 on the road for the amateurs and P2 on the road as well for Blake and Brett respectively. John Gallen, Scott Weston make up the top 5 ahead of Billy Mole, Peter Pavlovic, Matty Parker, Daniel Clutterbuck and Craig Healy making up the top 10 in this one. Andrew Cowan, Travis Daly make up the top 12 ahead of Sean Vandermeer and Troy Dooley. Andrew Rushworth, Rick Viger, Stephen Martin, Marty Hughes, Josh King make up the top 19 cars on track ahead of Dylan Gray. Unfortunately, a lap down there after early incidents and a penalty ensued. Just really took the race away from him at the end of the day. Brad Hayes, Di Feldman, Brad Anderson, Keegan Caldwell make up the rest of the running order. Caldwell was 10 laps down in the end. With Barbs and McAvoy, our race controllers, once again. A big thank you to them.
Nice. And the boys are all lined up on that podium step. Their cars are just bouncing away slightly. They're revving their engines. Great little bit of work there. I've got them on my other cam for you, mate, if you want. And the rest of the pros that are finishing in 4th and 5th and 6th. Oh, that is unreal. These boys are done. Shane Vandermeulen is in 13th place. He's actually 3rd place for the AMs. Well done by Shane Vandermeulen there. A lot of fun. What a night, mate. What an absolute perler.
I'm sure Zoe Cooper, who was in the chat, will be happy with Sean's performance here tonight.
Yes.
Oh,
all right, who are we going to bring up first?
Well, it'll be Mr. Taylor when he arrives. So
yes, Mr. Taylor is
he
there.
He has arrived?
Yes, he's there.
Yeah,
yes, he's there. Well, let's drag him down.
Let's drag in Mr. Taylor. You drag him down. I'll find a good point to go back to on the replay to have his car on track. Where's a good one we can find?
Didn't work. Why can't I drag him?
You should be able to.
That's worked now. Here we go. Oh, Mr. Taylor. How you doing, mate?
P3, was that right?
Yeah, mate. P3 overall.
P3 outright.
P3 outright. Shut up and take my money.
Did you just order some KFC?
I did order some KFC. Delivery too, so it's going to take a while.
Mate, I'm surprised there's something open that late in Tasmania, to be honest with you.
Oh, look, I've got to
Mate.
say, I'm actually not in Tasmania anymore. I'm a Tasmanian, but I live in Geelong now.
Oh, that's why. What part? What? I don't want to
You're
dox
right
you,
up
but
there with my teammates down there. Those boys are all out that
Oh,
way
hang
of
on.
town.
I've got a bit of mixture from Tyson. Sorry, what was that, boys?
Tell Tyson to bugger off. You're busy.
Yeah.
We said some of my team SRW out your way, mate. Geelong and up the coast and
Oh,
up
are they?
the great. Yeah.
We'll have to get
So,
together for a couple of cold beverages.
interesting times, mate. This is definitely a nerdy run.
Oh, I'm nude
Definitely,
now.
mate.
so
Top
does that
from
mean
the outright.
does
This
that,
is the highest you've
hang on,
finished.
so we're not looking at the Tasmanian Herald to be reporting this. We're looking for the Geelong Herald now. That's going to be.
Oh, yeah,
reporting
yeah.
this.
Get the advertiser, mate. It'll be on the front page of the
Geelong
advertiser.
advertiser. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, down in front of GMHBA Stadium, be absolutely brilliant. Maybe you get the dart out there with you as well.
You'll get the dart out, mate, and it'll be on.
Oh, it'd be absolutely on.
I can't believe, I tell you what, I so wanted to catch Blake. I wanted him on that last lap, but he
we
just
could
held
see
on.
it,
He's
mate.
too good, mate. He's
It
too
was
good.
there.
Yeah.
But Hamish and I predicted it, mate. We turned around and said probably what was it? 10 laps into the first tee, we were like, yeah, how cool would it be if Fitzpatrick and Taylor finished 9th and 10th and got out the front and just held their elbows out and held it the whole race? And you guys did exactly that. It was just
he held his elbows out into turn one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I was nervous because it's not often you start at the pointy end, so it was a little bit nervy. And I thought, well, I'll just let him go, and then I'll stalk him. And I think we must have had about 6 or 7 laps there where we were out there on our own a little bit, and then Rick Vigor started to close in on us, and then next thing I know, I look in the mirror and Jamie Davis is sitting in my passenger seat. It was like, well, you just keep going, son.
And he was being a bit patient too. I thought at one stage he was going to have a few dives on you. I thought, no, just stay patient, Dave. Just stay patient,
No need
mate.
for dives on me, mate. I was happy to move across and just wave him through.
You're ready to sell your soul here, mate.
I was going to sell my. I'm going to sell my soul in a minute. I'll tell you.
So this is your highest finish at SRW, mate? Ever. What, highest finished ever in any outright racing?
Any outright race, mate.
Oh, mate, that's 2 cherries you've popped this season.
All my cherries are coming in SRW.
So, I mean, well, to be fair though, Brett, you finished, what was it, P15 in Split 2 last season for vets. Like, you're just on the up at the moment.
Yeah. I'm feeling good, mate. I'm feeling good. It's this. It's nice to be able to do a track like here Tuesday, and then I think it's the following Thursday, not the Thursday that week. It's the following Thursday that we go into a vets track from the same as SRW. So, you know what I mean? I don't get a lot of time to jump on and do practice runs or anything else during the week.
Race is your practice session as well.
Yeah, race is my practice session.
And that's the best practice to get, mate. Competing with people. Not always on the when you're on your own. The biggest problem when you're on your own doing laps is that you're always on the race line.
Yeah.
And to win races, you've got to be able to be fast off the race line as well.
And clean, mate. And clean.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why I was happy to let Dikey go through, mate. Davis.
Davis, yep. Now you're thinking of racing Sunday nights, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. No, easy, Tiger. I'm not getting ahead of myself.
Mate, you know what? It's been an absolute killer of a night. Hamish and I have had an absolute blast.
Excellent.
To have you guys do elbows out all the way through was sensational. So, hats off, mate. You're having a come out season.
Well, I'm going to come out in a minute.
I don't care if you're a he, she, him, or whatever. That's all right. You can come out whenever you want, as long as you're having fun.
As long as I'm having fun, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm having
exactly,
fun.
mate.
The best fun.
That's it. All right, mate. Who gets the Valve Esports team on track, mate?
RSW, mate. Oh, we all do. All the boys at Valve, we all, they're all behind me. They're all into it. But Ross, RSW Graphics. He's the main man, mate. He looks after us. So that's generally it. I've got more sponsors on your side of the story that need to be thanked than ours.
I think there's who's in your team as well? Who else is involved?
Scotty Barton. Yeah. There's a few. I think there's a few that have jumped in.
Scotty's just rejoined as well.
Yeah.
So he'll be back in next season in the F3s.
Where's Brett Douglas?
I think there was a couple of other boys as well that signed up today from Valve.
Was there?
Yeah. I think there was 2 or 3
Tommy
that signed up today from Valve that are going to be racing multiple series next season.
Well,
nice.
Brett,
nice.
what's happened to Mr. Douglas? Because I've missed the Brett duo in Vet Split.
is they're concentrating more on special events and GT3s and all of that stuff, mate. Like I said, I don't get enough time to get in the rig to be fluent in all kinds of disciplines. So it's the V8 for me until they turn it into a legacy car, and then
I was going to say, how have they not got you in the car when it's a special event? You're super special, mate.
Yeah, I know. I looked. That's what the doctor told Mum after he slapped her in the face. Yeah. No, super special. But look, I've done a couple of events, but like did the Bathurst 12-hour in the Audi. I don't have enough time to practice, mate. Three kids.
It's a key thing, isn't it?
You
got to do what you can do.
3-year-old girls, mate. That's enough. Without the 6-year-old boy, Jesus.
Yeah. I'm hearing you, mate. I'm hearing you and feeling your pain. Listen, mate, get the hell out of here so I can get to bed.
Worries. WB Warren and Brown Tools, mate. Racecraft Simulations, Grim Industries, all them blokes. I'm trying to look through.
You've just shouted out both the SRW and the Vets naming rights sponsors in one go.
That's all good, mate. It's all good. We still support Racecraft, even though they're not an official sponsor anymore. John's an absolute legend, mate, and he deserves a pat on the back every now and again as well. Mr. Taylor,
thanks.
Always a pleasure, and great to have you come up.
But I had to come into it via finishing third in the main.
Yeah,
I wanted to win in the AMs so I could come and talk to you. But look what I've done.
I know you've had the best of both worlds. In this one here, Brett.
You have, mate. You have. You've done an absolute epic job, mate.
You might be a bit old for the reference, but you're a real modern Miley Cyrus off this one. Just best of both worlds. P2 on the road, P3 overall though. So
what are you saying, Brett? Brett's going to come in next round on a cannonball.
Yeah,
naked. Yeah, he's going to smash through my screen. He's all I've ever asked for.
It'll only be one ball. Anyway. Right, boys.
We're going to get out of here before we lose our license. Take care, brother.
Yeah.
See you, mate.
Character.
Mr. Fitzpatrick, my jaw is sore from laughter with Mr. Taylor. How are you doing, buddy? That was an epic drive tonight, mate. Hats off to you.
Yeah, pretty good after that one, as always. I like Tuesdays. Tuesdays are starting to be my favourite day of the week.
Well, mate, your dad's pretty happy with your efforts here tonight. He was out in the chat having a yarn with us whilst you were cutting laps with old Bretty and old Jamie out there. But it appears that Winton has, they say that pressure creates diamond, and with the maximum pressure of Winton, well, we got a couple of gems in the booth tonight.
Yeah, I think I put it on myself last week in broadcast, and I said I had to go and do practice, so that's what I did. Definitely paid off tonight.
Excellent, mate. You did a great, cracking job, mate. A cracking job. The pressure from Taylor was intense at the back end, but you guys took the start you guys did at the beginning and actually gapped everyone for a little while was spot on. Exactly what you needed to do. It's what me and Hamish wanted you guys to do: get the elbows out and drive it like you'd won it and stolen it. And it was really good racing, mate. It was a lot of fun to watch and commentate. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun racing with Brett this season. He's awesome. Like, we battled last season. We ended up, I think he might have come fourth in the championship, and I come third.
Yes. Yep.
So it's pretty cool for to us now be battling for 1 and 2.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a good driver too.
Yeah, well, you know what the good thing about our series is that everyone gives everyone space and drives safe, and you can go around 4 or 5 corners side by side and still make it. Tough luck if you're racing beside me because my talent expires and I just end up hitting people. But I mean, the boys out there tonight have shown a lot of class, and congratulations, mate. That's not just a podium, but outright second.
Yeah, I was trying for the outright first tonight. I didn't take tyres in the first stop and got a bit of a buffer to Jamie, but
yeah, is that your highest finish?
I think so. Yeah, I think last season at
I think you got
Magny.
Didn't you get a P3 last season?
Yeah, I think last season it was a P3. I think Vanderkraan got me on the very last lap.
Yes.
At Magny.
Yes, so you've got to hunt that elusive top step down, mate. Well, you're going to have to put a bit more practice in.
To win it.
Yes, I know.
Someone's got to do it. It's going to be out of me and Taylor or Sean Vandermeulen. It's a bit of a race by the end of the season, I reckon.
Yeah, well, we've got 4 rounds to go. We're in the middle round, so it's going to be absolutely epic. I think Hamish, is it? You've got round 6 written on here, Hamish. Is that right?
Yeah, we're round 6 at the moment, mate. 3 rounds to go.
Man, I thought we were round 5 tonight.
No,
Jesus
round
Christ.
6.
Round 6, 3 more to go. Well, mate, congratulations. If
Cheers,
you
boys.
can, with all the adulation and all the adrenaline still rushing, who gets Pacific Esports racing on the track, mate?
Oh, we've got a special shout out tonight. Robbie Bradbury, Coach Bradbury, we should call him. He sat with me for a couple of afternoons and taught me how to do this track this week. So big thanks to him.
Oh, is Robbie not actually your dad? Because he said proud dad moment, and I just assumed he was actually your dad.
Oh, he's one of them. Him and Banksy, they're the stepdads.
Oh, the old adoptive fathers of sim racing. You love to see it.
But yeah, as well as Robbie, we've got all our sponsors. We've got Lake Edge Holiday Units in Baril, One Shot Pest Management, the Bin the Blade Ballin Foundation, W Energy and Tim Nickel Photography, and then Player One Sim Gear. Also, shout out to Lake Edge Holiday Units. That's where we get the Pelican from, Hamish.
Yeah, that's right. We did a full story on that last week.
It was
That's
on
the key element to our livery.
I think
we
it
are
was,
the Pelicans.
It was it wasn't yesterday. I think it was last Tuesday. It was answered for us in the chat. I think by Stephen.
Yeah, correct. Last Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because we did a big shout out to Lake Edge Holiday Resort, whatever they call it, as well. So it was
Very
pretty
nice
cool.
place down there.
Look, mate,
Very nice.
absolute legendary drive tonight, and you and Mr. Taylor were lighting up the screen for most of it. So when you sit back with a coldie and watch it, you'll love the broadcast, mate, because you guys featured in it like crazy.
Cheers, boys. Have a good night.
All right, take care, brother. Here we have Mr. Jamie Davis. Mr. Jamie Davis, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm not bad.
Not bad?
Yeah, not bad. Pretty up and down night, that one.
How many places did you get up tonight? 15 places. Yeah. After your first part, you got yourself a drive-through, taking out your teammate, second part. How was
Done
it,
everything.
mate?
Done everything I taught myself to try not to do. I done absolutely everything I shouldn't have in race 1, and yeah, it was on the back foot. And I thought race 2, I'll just go out there, have some fun, make some spots up, and yeah, I was a bit lucky with the first lap carnage. It was a bit of a Moses there, just departing seas. I was able to drive through the middle.
I did see that you had cars go to the left of you, cars go to the right of you. Which sounds like that song, actually. And you went straight down the middle. Jokers to the left, jokers to the right. You went straight down the middle, and it was like just a parting of the Red Sea.
Yeah, exactly. I was just there. Wasn't sure where everyone was going, and it was just off the throttle, off the brake, see where everyone was going. I think I just clipped the back of Dylan when he was half spun around. And then, just after that, just focused on trying to preserve the tide.
And I'll tell you what, these two amateurs gave you a bit of a run for the money. They didn't make it easy, did they?
No, definitely not. Nor should they make it easy either. Yeah, full credit to Brett and Blake there. That was absolutely awesome. That was full hats off to them.
Yeah, look, the bit I was impressed about was both moments when you passed each one of them. They didn't get overawed and panic or anything like that. They just stayed true and stayed focused and kept going for as long as they could, which was really good. Normally when a pro passes an AM in a position like that, the AM loses their nerve a bit and runs off or does something a bit silly. But it was exceptional driving by those blokes when you were passing through as well.
Oh, mate, just goes to show how much everybody's improving. Because I think a couple of seasons ago, the AMs would get a bit flustered and fall off, lock a brake. But those two boys held their nerve, and they eliminated my surprise passing spot at 7. They shallowed their lines up, so I had to work hard, show the nose, just try and beat him in a traction race out of a corner, just to try and set something up.
Yeah. The undercut was powerful tonight because you actually ended up 6 seconds behind Fitzpatrick when you came out of the pits in the final pit.
I thought I screwed that up a bit, but Blake told me before that he underfueled the car a little bit and he didn't take tyres because tyres would have made him stationary longer. So I think he started with a full tank.
Your pit up on actual pit itself was 16.5.
his was 10.05,
Well-
and Taylor was 13.1. So if Taylor would have gone a little bit shorter, he probably would have been out in front of Fritzy. And yeah, so that's where he won it.
Well,
Get out a bit earlier.
Just to confirm for Blake, though, just quickly, because he took 10 seconds of fuel, he actually could have covered tyres.
Yeah, that's what I
Tyres
tried to
take 10
explain to him.
seconds.
Yeah, I tried to
Yeah.
explain to him that the tyres are 9.5 seconds, so that's equates to about 18, 20 litres of fuel or something. Would cover that.
Yep. Yeah, so he could have taken them at the same time and still been on fresh tyres.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
100%.
I went the other way this week and I put in an extra 4 or 5 litres, so I didn't run out of fuel this week.
Mate, you could have done a burnout for us on the burnout pad.
He was doing burnouts on the straight, mate. He was ripping them right up.
I thought about the burnout pad, but then I also didn't want to run out of fuel. I knew I had a little bit extra, but I didn't
Yeah.
want to go too crazy.
All you had to do was come back to the line up for your photo, and then go round to the burnout pad, because then you could blow up your engine. You wouldn't have to worry about coming back.
That's all
You've already
good,
done it.
man. That's all good.
Nah, sorry. Hopefully next time.
I'm just a lover
Nah,
of
it's
the
all
burnout
good,
pad
man.
at Winton. It's a favourite of mine.
Yeah, a killer drive tonight. Well done coming from the back of the grid and making your way up to the podium step. I think Dylan made it a little bit easier for him. He's got himself 2 drive-throughs and that little bingle he had. So he even though he was fastest on track, he sort of put himself all the way to the back of the list. But that's racing, isn't it? That's the way it goes.
Yeah,
do you
exactly.
ever-
I didn't have a great race 1, and he didn't have a great race 2, so that kind of
Yeah,
just
yeah, exactly.
leveled the playing field out there.
Yeah, it did. 100%. Who gets you boys out on track and supports you apart from your lovely lady Laura Anderson, who's always out there supporting the team?
She's a gem, isn't she? Hello, Laura. Big thanks to Warren and Brown Tools, Shannon's, Grim Industries, NeuroPower, DSL Railway Services, all the competitors, people that run this series, the race control, and more importantly, yourself, Steve, and yourself, Hamish.
Thank you very much, mate. It's always a pleasure, and it's great to call a race when you guys are tearing up, putting on an awesome show. We'll let you go, Jamie. Good luck next week, mate. Hamish, where are we next week again?
Watkins Glen for the Enduro.
Watkins Glen. Oh, that's a nice track. Is that the full bus stop and everything?
Full bus stop, mate. So I hope you bring your mic here next week, Jamie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, full
nice.
bus stop, top 10 shootout. It's going to be a big night.
Oh, it's a big weekend. All right, looking good. All right, take care of yourself, mate, and we'll see you at the other end on actually you're racing next on Thursday night or Wednesday night?
Yeah, Thursday in the 86s.
Excellent, mate. All right, good luck then, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much, fellas. Take care.
Thanks, mate.
All right, Hamish. My voice is just about to go.
That's all right, mate. We'll bring an end to it there. It was a great show once again for the Tuesday Supercars, brought to you by Warren and Brown Tools. If you guys haven't already, please hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon so you are notified anytime we go racing here on SRW TV, including the Tuesday night Warren and Brown Supercars Championship, the Wednesday night Shannon's Insurance Formula 3 Nationals, the Thursday night Shannon's Insurance Toyota GR86 Nationals, which is also a Motorsport Australia official series. The Friday night IMSA Shadow Series, brought to you by Warren and Brown Tools, in which entries are still open. So if you want to get involved in some multi-class madness, be sure to sign up. Go to www.simracingworld.com.au. If you haven't already registered as a driver or paid your subs, get in there, pay your subs, get into the Discord, sign up for the series. There may only be 4 rounds to go, but it's going to be good practice leading into next season if the series does continue to run forward. As well as our Sunday night Warren and Brown Tools V8 Supercars Super Sunday/Monday series during Scops rounds. Of course, the next round for that one will be back at Winton this Sunday night. And the next week, over the long weekend, we'll be out at, I've said it before, Watkins Glen for the Enduro. So hopefully we'll be able to get some good numbers for that one, even over the long weekend. For myself, Hamish Munro, and Stephen Sinkovic alongside, we thank you for your time. We thank you for bringing us into your home or wherever you may be watching from, whenever you may be watching from, whether it's live or on the replay. Be thank you to all the series sponsors, including Warren and Brown Tools, Shannon's Insurance, our title sponsors, as well as our other sponsors, Motorsport Australia, Shunt Scenery, Grim Industries, NeuroPower, and DSL Rail Services. But until next time, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to slip on Dave Coleman. able to bottle right now because, I'll tell you what, Reece Tannock, Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us.